Hail, weary podcast traveler and well met. I see your adventure through the depths of the internet has led you here to sliding into the DMs. Now, this is not a podcast for the dirty boys, as the name implies, but rather a D&D advice and creative concepts podcast where these three nerds take your questions, suggestions, and pop culture influences to turn them into playable content, making goofs all along the way. This show is for everyone, from level 1 adventurers just stepping into the realm of D&D to the level 19 Dragon Slayer. Their aim is to help both players and DMs alike. Even Gary Gygax needed help sometimes. Just ask Dave Arneson. So step into our tavern, take off your cloak of elvenkind, and spend some time sliding into the DMs.
Hello, my name's Sir Taintly. I'm a Goliath, a bard. I will sing you to sleep. I went to prison for it. I went to prison for a lot of things, groping many people. Now ready, boys. Roll for initiative.
Not good for me, nat 1.
I got a 17.
20!
I got a nat 1.
Ooh, okay. So first off, go ahead and introduce yourself there, nat 20.
I'm Tiffany, and I'm a beastly mountain dwarf. And if anybody was to mess with me, I'd smash their skulls.
I love it. Now introduce who you are as a person playing.
Oh, I'm Kayla, Trevor's wife.
Yes,
Perfect.
we do have two guests tonight. We are joined by my wife Kayla tonight, and also my friend Cameron. This is a bonus ep that we are actually going to be doing a live play, run through of a D&D one shot. This is Cameron's first forte into Dungeons and Dragons, and Kayla's second. So they're both a little bit new, and we're gonna break them in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, who are you?
Well, hello. I am Doran, the Wood Elf Ranger.
And who are you who's playing Doran?
Oh, I apologize. Hi. By this episode, you might know who I am. I am Trevor. I am normally the continuity conductor on the podcast. I do that also in the game sometimes, and how to keep the party on track a little bit. So, choo-choo.
And my other nat 1 fellow, I will have you introduce yourself first as you are a player, and I will be the DM tonight. So go ahead and introduce your character again, I guess, and who you are, and we'll get going.
Again, I'm the Goliath, Sir Taintly. I've been to prison. I've groped a lot of people, picked a lot of pockets. I've done a lot of things, sang a lot of sweet nothings to people in their sleep. Sang them to sleep in their sleep. Yes, that's what I do. Anyways, that's me. That's what I do. I'm a gropey giant man.
Okay, and who is the one playing the gropey giant man?
A non-gropey, shy individual who doesn't know what he's doing here. My name's Cameron, also known as Boredasnoodles on the TikTok, and this is my first time doing this.
All right, and I am the mad scientist, also known as Bruce. Tonight, I will be playing the role as DM. I welcome you guys into our first ever actual play, and I'm excited. We have a noob, Cameron, and a intermediate noob, relatively noob, and Kayla. Semi-noob, yes. Everyone's supposed to be semi-noob in this podcast. So, the setting that we are going to jump into. You're an adventuring party who's been traveling together for some time and has found themselves a little hard up on cash, hard up on jobs to perform to get said cash to buy said things you want. You have heard that there are some jobs in a nearby city, and that city is called Welton. It's a little ways off the regular path, the King's Road, and you guys are now probably about a day's journey away. And this is where we can get some early role-playing from you guys. You guys can have a little conversation here as you're making the rest of the way down the road. I will ask a couple things from you guys as we go ahead. I will need you guys to make a perception check. And what that is going to do is you're going to roll your d20, your 20-sided dice. You're going to go to your character sheet and find where it says perception in your skills, and you're going to add that number to that roll. So go ahead and give me a perception check, and we will start your guys' journey into town.
-1, Kayla. So
Oh, no.
you rolled a 16 -1, so you have a 15.
Okay. And certainly, how are you doing over there?
I rolled a 19.
Ooh. And then you have any additives from your perception on your skill sheet?
3.
3. So you roll a 19, so that would be a 22.
Numbers.
So, yes, math. This is the nerdy Math Rocks game, where you use your imagination to fight bad guys.
And I rolled a total of 12, Bruce.
Nice. Okay, so you guys pack up your stuff from your campsite the night before, head down the road, and everything seems well and good. Certainly, you're kind of taking the early lead of the group and marching down the path. Do you have any instruments on you, as you are a bard?
I do. I have my lute, my bagpipes, and my pan flute.
Okay, what is your go-to traveling instrument?
Always my lute, of course. Lute to boot.
Of course. Okay, do you have anything that you're singing or humming or chanting as you stroll down the road with your great perception, seeing all that lays before you? Beautiful green pastures, tall trees, birds flying through the air of a clear sky. The path before you is clear and steady and packed well, so you're not going to be tripping or falling. It's just a beautiful, well-to-give day.
Well, I was singing all the single ladies, but nobody was singing along, so I stopped. I was very sad, because everybody's so far behind me right now. It's me by myself. I'm just alone with my thoughts. Wondering, where, when, will all the single ladies let me just come right near them? Unfortunately, prison and the restraining orders that I have, let that not be a thing.
Okay, perfect. So you're humming and wondering to yourself when those single ladies will beseech thee. And as you stroll on down the path, you see a hill up ahead, and with your 22 perception, you begin to notice the sounds of sheep and shepherds calling to shepherd dogs, and you hear barking, and you start to hear this as this is a clear sign that you are approaching Welton, a industry of wool and meat and very few other things other than wheat, lamb or sheep for meat purposes, and the wool that they produce. So this is a clear sign that you are headed in the right direction. Do you do anything to call it to your fellows?
I turn back. I look back at them both, standing there, dumbfounded at my beauty. And I tell them, look, I'm going to go have my way with that sheep. I'll be back. Don't mind me.
So...
I'm sorry.
That damn Sir Noodles. He is always off to do the most atrocious things. I don't know why we adventure with him.
Tra-la-la. Mother trucker.
I love it. So, Tiffany, I believe you rolled the next highest, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have heard some braying and some calls from sheep herders as well over the beautiful lute playing of Certainly as he heads up the travel here. Again, with his long strides and long legs of being a Goliath, he's headed down the path a lot faster than your tiny dwarvish legs can carry you. So you hear this too, and you begin to catch up to him as he approaches this hill, and he's turned towards you, and again in his self-confident beauty, he's standing there and turns back to you and says something about a sheep. You weren't quite sure what he had said, but he pointed and then giggled to himself and started to skip along the path. You guys come up over the hill, and it's true. What you heard is there. You see that in the sweeping pastures before you, you see 4 shepherds, 2 halfling shepherds and a human and a dwarf, marching along, pushing their herds towards these beautiful white-sided buildings, 2 stories tall, beautiful woodwork. From here you can tell it's not a stone structure, but it has been painted white, and there is a long and tall fence that surrounds this whole city that you can see from atop this hill. And they are moving their herds towards the gates and into safety. The shepherds are calling out to their shepherd dogs, and the dogs are pushing these sheep forward. And as they do so, you guys see something peculiar. Go ahead and roll another perception check for me. That'll be, again, the D20 plus your perception.
Oh, Doran got a crit failure.
So you are just bewitched by the beauty of the trees and the forest around you, and you're beginning to wonder why you are trying to go towards civilization again. You are of the woods. You wish to be in the woods, so you're stuck staring at a tree. That's why you don't see anything. Tiffany?
Got a 9.
A 9. You're winded. You had to rush up this hill to catch up to this Goliath. So you see up ahead, you see the shepherds pushing the herd along, but you don't see much else than that. And Sir Taintley?
I got a 2.
Oh, no. So as you march up the hill and you're strumming your lute, and you come up to the top of the hill and you go to hit your final chord of your song is like almost like a welcome to me as to the city. You strike your strings, and one of the strings is a little off tune, so you're like, oh no, this won't do, and you start to focus on tuning the lute itself. And as you guys look up and make your way down the path, you see that in almost a flash, you didn't quite notice it, you didn't see it before, you're not sure what had happened, but all of a sudden you see that these shepherds are struggling with something in their sheep herd. You see them recoiling and yelling and striking something with their crooks, and then that's when you notice it. There are 4 dark gray figures amongst the sheep. You see that one of them grabs up a sheep and takes off to the west, and the other 3 are there accosting the herders, or the shepherds. And is there anything you guys want to do? You guys are probably about 100 or so feet away.
100 feet away?
Yeah.
I'm going to knock an arrow into my longbow.
Okay.
And I am going to fire at this dark gray creature.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack.
That is a 2 plus 8 for a total of 10.
Ooh, it just misses. As you knock your arrow and you fire it towards these dark gray creatures that are giving these shepherds some trouble, just instinctually you think danger. And so you fire your arrow, and it lands 2 feet in front of this dark gray kind of shape in the herd. Which one were you aiming at? There's 2 that are closer towards you guys. There's one further towards the back of the pack, nearest the town gate, and then there's one that just headed off westward towards the forest.
I was shooting at the one that was heading off with the
Okay.
sheep.
Yeah, so as you fire at this moving target, it is moving just a little too quickly, and you lead it just a little too much, and it lands probably 2 feet in front of this thing, and you see it adjust course and take off running still. Now, do you guys want to jump into combat here? It looks like there is some sort of fight going on, or do you guys want to just see how things transpire?
Combat.
Combat, okay?
Dang, I like to watch.
Of course. So, what we're gonna do here is, as you guys sprint up and advance on this happening, you are going to roll initiative. So you're gonna roll your d20, and then you're gonna take your initiative modifier and add it to that. And then I will call out numbers and ask for your guys' placement in there. Stand by. 25 to 20. 20 to 15.
17.
17 to Tiffany. Okay. 15 to 10.
12.
12 to Dorian. Is it Doran or Dorian?
Doran.
Doran, okay.
DeLorean. Wait, I don't know what I'm doing
okay.
here.
That was that at 15 to 10?
I rolled a 1.
Oh no. Alright,
I've had 1s and 2s this whole time. I don't know what is going on.
you should get him out now before you start trying to hit things.
Hmm.
Let's see. Okay, so Doran, and then we have last up Sir Taintley. Okay. So first to act in combat will be Tiffany. You have 2 shepherds standing at the outside of the pack, probably about 10 feet from where you guys run up on the path itself. You have a wolf to either side of them, and then you have the herd bunched up in the middle, and probably about 15 feet from where you are, you have another shepherd who is being accosted by another wolf. Let me see if I can pull up a map here. So what would you like to do as you come up to this situation?
Tell them that we're there in hell.
Okay.
What does that sound like?
Yeah, I was like, you can say that part.
We're here to help you.
Oh, well, it's about fucking time. Wait, who are you? And then
My name is Tiffany, and these are my friends, and we're gonna crush some skulls.
Well, you better do it quickly. They're getting away with all of our sheep. So go ahead and if you're wanting to attack, there is 2 enemies. I put that in quotation marks because you're not quite sure. But there are 2 enemies just to... they're probably about 10 feet away from you in either the west or east direction.
So, for those that don't know, if you are within 5 feet, you can do a melee attack, which would be your great axe, Kayla, or any other melee weapon. But now you have to be in 5 feet to do those. Other than that, you're using a ranged weapon, such as a javelin and a bow and arrow, etc. So you do have a movement still. Each round, a person has movement, action, and bonus action. So you are currently 10 feet away. If you want to attack, you have to go within 5 feet. Your character personally has a movement speed of 25 feet, so that's how far you can move in one turn. You can very easily cover that other 5 feet and do a melee attack with your weapon.
Okay, so I want to hit him with the great axe.
That would be
Okay. So you advance on them, and then you're going to use your d20. You're going to roll that and see if that hits this creature.
16 plus 6.
22.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so now you would roll damage, which in your case for the great axe is 1d12 plus 4. So you're going to grab a d12. Nope.
It's the one with 12 sides.
Nope.
5 plus 4.
9.
Total of 9.
All right. So 9 damage, and as you approach this thing and you rear back your great axe to attack, you notice that it is a wolf. It is thin but yet large. As you approach, it seems to like take you in almost. Like it's like it's studying you almost. And as you rear back your axe and swing, it tries to jump out of the way, and boom, you slice it across the chest, and it lets out a whine. You said that was 9 damage?
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
And as a bonus action, I want to rage.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. You and as you land your first hit and you see that these things actually are attacking these defenseless herd here, you get really pissed off. You go into a rage. And what this is going to do is it's going to give you certain benefits and certain abilities that kind of activate when you go into a rage.
Yes. As a bonus action, you enter a rage for up to 1 minute. You gain advantage on strength checks and saving throws, not attacks. You get +2 melee damage with any strength weapon. Strength weapons, resistance to bludgeoning, poisoning, slashing damage. You can resist, cast, or concentrate on spells while raging. Your rage ends early if you are knocked unconscious, or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature.
Okay, so I put a little map up for you guys here. This isn't the exact map of where we are, but we're going to use this as this is the wall here. This little road that goes here. And then you guys are basically right about here. You have the herd right in the middle of you guys, and then you have a shepherd here at this end, another shepherd here at this end, and then you have a third shepherd here, and the last wolf that took off from here running west. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You guys kind of picture that in your head a little bit?
Yes.
And you guys just ran up, and Tiffany, I believe you attacked this one here. So there was a wolf just right here, and you attacked that wolf there. So Tiffany's off to this side, probably about right here. And then you guys are in the path back over here. Alright, sound good? Alright, so next up will be the wolf that you actually attacked, and it's going to lunge out at you and make a bite attack. So it's going to make 2 bite attacks at you. 3 does not hit, and an 8 does not hit, I would assume.
Correct.
Alright, so
I don't know why I'm answering.
The wolf lunges out after you land your great axe hit against its rib cage and give it a good once over with your great axe, and it lunges out and it's and it bites out at you and just snaps close to you but does not quite hit. And next up is Dorian.
It's Doran, but that's okay.
I'm sorry, Doran.
All right. I am going to again try to make a shot with my long bow.
Okay.
So let's do that. My rolls are terrible tonight. Crit failure.
Oh, perfect. So you go and you pull your bow up, and as you knock your arrow and you draw back, you fire the arrow, you hit the sheep. Now roll damage. That's the penalty for your failure, is you killed the sheep.
You don't know that I killed the sheep yet, Bruce, okay?
That's true. Roll damage.
3 + 4 is 7.
You can't tell, but you definitely know you hit that sheep instead of what you were truly aiming for, which is the wolf. Next up is the wolf near the back of the pack over here. He's the one closest to the gate with the halfling shepherd, and he's going to make an attack out at that shepherd. 2 bite attacks. Does not hit. That one does. He's going to do some damage here. Alright. Yes, you guys see as he lunges out and latches on to the shoulder of this halfling shepherd. And the shepherd screams out, "Oh fuck! Oh no! Oh, he's got me!" And then the wolf closest over here is going to actually back up in between you and the dwarf shepherd that is nearest the outside of this little pack here, and he is going to make an attack towards Doran here, because you're right about there, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, he's gonna lash out and try to attack you.
Excellent. I have so much health.
Ooh.
That's a lie. Very little.
Yes. So does a 7 hit?
It does not.
I didn't think so. How about a 15?
Does not.
Oh, lucky you.
I know.
All right. So again, he sees that someone bigger than the dwarf comes in, and he tries to lash out and attack you, try and take down the biggest thing that is threatening towards him, and misses twice as he lashes out to bite you. And next up would be Certainly.
Can I speak with the animal?
You can.
I roll to speak with the animal.
Well, you can just do that as a free action.
Ooh,
because speaking,
I ask the animal,
speaking is a
why?
free-
Why are you so evil? Why are you so angry? What is the angst? What's it coming from?
And as you try to speak with this animal, knowing that it is but a wolf, so wolves don't typically have much intelligence, but you still ask anyways. You still question this creature, trying to break some kind of barrier here. And you see as you speak to it, it kind of cocks its head, turns its head to the side, and then sheepishly back up, and you see as it makes a grab for a sheep and tries to run away. So as this wolf goes to leave your combat, it leaves your melee range, you have the ability to make a simple weapon attack, which is just like a rapier, a sword, just whatever your weapon is on hand. And after you question this wolf, you saw it kind of cock its head and look at you, and it grabbed a sheep and then tried to run. So go ahead and roll to hit, which is your d20 plus whatever you have to hit on your weapon.
17. That
17.
was 15 with 17. With 2 equals 17.
Perfect. That hits. So go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh, I got an Ocho.
Oh,
Plus anything?
nice. Full
With
damage.
my rapier, that's 10.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
This wolf is
So-
as good as dead.
Just about, yeah. As you see it turn and run, you take your rapier out after it so rudely did not answer your question, and you slice it across the back of the hind legs, and you see it as it starts to barely limp away. You have wounded it greatly.
Nice.
Next up is Tiffany again.
Yeah.
You see as the wolf that you hit is very similarly injured, where it is not quite down, but is definitely hurt, and it is still right in front of you.
Slice its head off.
Alright, yeah, go ahead and roll the hit.
20.
20 to hit?
Total 20, not nat.
Total 20. So that's one thing I'll have you guys kind of clarify, is if you roll a 20 on the dice, that's a nat 20. If you get to a 20 using the dice roll plus something, that's a total 20. That way we know, because there's special things that happen when you roll a nat 20. And so this wolf is kind of like starting to shy away from you, and you, without any remorse or hesitation, you whip your great axe up and flink, and you slice the head from its shoulders, and it falls limp to the ground. And next up was that wolf, and he uses his turn to die. And
Stupid wolf.
next up is Doran. It is your
I'm
turn.
guessing that wolf was already very close to death, so she didn't have her roll damage.
Yes.
Okay.
It was very, very close to death.
Okay.
What's her damage dice she uses on
A
that?
D12.
Yeah, it's dead.
So I am going to go ahead and sling my bow over my shoulder,
Okay.
and I am going to run up and reach behind me and pull out two short swords,
Nice.
and I am going to attack the wolf that is currently in combat with Certainly.
Certainly.
Yep.
Uh-huh. So that one is actually trying to make a run towards the west as well. So you were already facing the right direction. You can run past and get in combat with it very easily. It's only probably about 20 feet away from you at this point. It got slowed down for some reason. Use of its back legs were hindered.
I have a 35 speed, so
Okay, yeah, you get up there easily, and you can make your attack roll.
how about +6? So a 17.
That hits.
And I have 2 weapon fighting, so my bonus action is also going to be a second attack with my offhand.
Okay.
And remind me, now a offhand attack, you do not add the plus to hit for offhand,
No.
correct? Okay.
Yeah, so your dominant hand receives the 2-hit bonus, and the offhand attack is just a straight attack roll.
So a 9 on that roll.
Oh, the 9 misses.
Okay. So I will roll then just with my damage on my first one, which is
Depending on how much you roll here, you wouldn't even need to hit with the second one.
okay. So this is a 6 plus 4. 3 plus 4, 7.
Yeah, you didn't need the second attack. As you throw your bow over your shoulder and make your short sprint, you jump up in the air and drive your blade down between its shoulder blades through its actual spine, and you feel it go limp beneath your blade and fall to the ground.
Excellent.
Next up was the wolf biting onto the halfling near the back of the pack towards the gates of the city, and you see that it lets go of the halfling and sprints off to the east, just trying to get away from you guys as fast as possible. The halfling will make a attack of opportunity on it because it's leaving its range at disadvantage because he's laying on the ground, and he misses, and it sprints off into the tall grass and eventually into the woods. You guys are out of combat.
Excellent.
Well, thank God you're all here. Oh, it could have been much worse. They've been getting more brash. Oh.
Why, hello, sir. I am Doran, and these are my compatriots. Glad we were here to help you.
A pleasure to meet you. I can't say how happy I am you've made it here. Oh, Lord. Oh.
Yes.
He lays there bleeding, and the dwarf walks over, and he's like,
"Yeah, it's a good thing you made it here in time. These goddamn wolves keep coming in and seeming to take up our flocks left and right. This is one of the few we have left, and it's half the size it was."
So, you say these wolves, have they been a constant problem for you?
Yeah, that's literally what I just said, but...
Yes. So, tell me, is this a problem that you might be willing to pay some people some money to eradicate for you?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the town has been talking about having adventurers come in and try and get rid of these folks. These fucking wolves. I didn't mean to say folks. These are bastards. I don't know why I said that. The heat of the battle, I guess. But it's kind of strange for us. We haven't had to have any outside help. But I guess the town's probably looking for it now.
So, should we inquire and should we strike a deal with you, or do we possibly go into town to strike a deal on this job?
Well, probably into town. The warlock who normally takes care of this for the town is gone, but I hear the town's having a meeting over at the Shepherd's Crook.
Is that an inn?
Yeah, it's a tavern, an inn.
Is there
probably about...
Is there ale there?
Sure enough. I mean,
blessed
downtown.
Blessed son, I would love some ale. And sounds like that's what our job is. So, head on. Are you two going to be okay?
You see the dwarf walks over to the halfling and kind of helps him sit up, and as he does so, you see the halfling kind of like going in and out, like, oh, he's lost a lot of blood. These wolves were big, and halflings are notoriously small, so one bite from a large wolf is a very bad day for a small creature. So, so you see as he helps this halfling up, he says,
"Oh yeah, I'll get him over to the healer, and he'll be patched up in no time."
And you see the other two shepherds kind of start tending to the flock and getting them inside the gates and getting them safe.
Well, sir, I appreciate the guidance, and I hope you have just a fabulous day.
Yeah, you do the same. Fairly well, man, and be safe out there.
And so you see him gather up his halfling comrade and head in towards the town itself. And as he said, head in straight down the main road, and you will see the tavern, the Shepherd's Crook. So as you guys head in down the main road, as the dwarf shepherd had said, towards the Shepherd's Crook, which is a tavern or inn that he said that they were having some kind of meeting at today, you're heading down the street of this town, and again, around you are these beautiful two-story buildings painted a bright, beautiful white that contrasts so beautifully against the yellow grains and wheat of the fields. And you see that these structures are large wooden structures painted white, and they have very beautiful carvings in them depicting scenes, depicting, words and glyphs and sigils and stuff like that, maybe describing the families there. You're not quite sure, but they're covered in all these markings. And as you guys head down the road, you notice that there is a large amount of people around, which is somewhat strange for a small shepherd's village that deals mainly in wools and in grain. But there are quite a few people out, and you see some pockets of people talking and whispering to themselves. You see some people talking a little bit more loudly and verbose, and you kind of overhear every now and again someone saying something about, "Well, these damn wolves keep coming around and stealing up our flocks, and we need to do something about it. If that damn mage was around, we wouldn't have to worry no more." And as you make your way towards the center of the city, you notice the Shepherd's Crook Tavern and Inn. The door is open. There is a small job board posted outside the door, and there is a sign above the door in red paint across a large scroll that says, "Town meeting, our elders required." And so, as you guys head in, roll a perception check for the room. Unless you had any questions or anything you wanted to do before you guys actually got into here, we can go ahead and retro.
Can I just, bust open the door so everyone, turns and looks?
You could have, but the door was already open. So.
I want to check the job board. I want to see what jobs are available.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll an investigation check on the job board.
11.
11. Okay, yeah. So you march up to the job board, and you're, stroking your chin as you're trying to read these different languages. There's a couple jobs posted in on the board that are written in Halfling. Do you guys read or write in Halfling at all?
I do not.
No? Okay. So there's a couple job postings you can't quite read, but there's some crude drawings on them that you would assume depict kind of what they're looking for. And it's a shield and a sword, and then there's some sheep drawn around it. So you're assuming that that's some kind of protection job on getting a flock from one place into the other. You see another one that has a cart on it, and the description reads, strong hands wanted on moving this crop. We gotta get it picked up before the wolves come again. And then you see just basically stuff like that, and you start to see kind of a trend where it's all about these goddamn wolves. They're trying to do something before the wolves come. They're trying to do something because the wolves are there. They're looking for people to help kill the wolves. They're looking for people to help hunt them down and eradicate them. For the most part, it's a very wolf-centric job board with other miscellaneous jobs related to that.
I was hoping to find somebody's OnlyPans account.
First, is this cart full of cabbages?
It is not. No. They don't have any cabbages here. It's mostly grains and wool. So as you guys head into the bar, your perception checks for the bar itself, please.
11.
14.
11?
8.
14. 8. Okay. So the 14, that is... Doran, you walk into the bar, and your elven eyes scan the room, and you see there's a main room to this building, and then it looks like there's a separate dining hall or dining room off to the side, and then there's a staircase that would lead up to, room and board, you would assume. And then there's a door to the back kitchen, and there's a long bar that goes across the back wall. And as you step in, you notice that there are tables everywhere that are full of people. Again, it's a small town based solely around shepherding and, wool production and stuff like this. Yet there's a lot of people around during the day when they should be out working. And you guys see relatively the same, I believe it was an 11 and a 9. Was that the other one?
8.
8. Yeah, the 8 to Tiffany, you basically find exactly what you're looking for. You see the bar. as a dwarf, you are a thirsty person. You go to the bar and you find exactly what you're looking for, and you are staying there trying to wave someone over. Sir Taintley, you walk in and you notice that there are some fair maidens around. Not quite what you look for on a regular basis, but they'll do. Alright, so as you guys enter the room, what do you want to do?
So everyone's kind of gathered. Is there like a head table that has like people sitting out at like a town meeting? Because you had kind of said that there was a town meeting happening in here, or the sign outside did. Is there a head table?
Go ahead and roll an investigation check. You're trying to find where this town meeting is being held.
Yes. Investigation 19.
19, perfect. Yeah, so you can kind of see that there are all these tables filled with people, but none of them really seem to be having a conversation that is holding too much weight to it. Like, it doesn't have that right air about it. So you go up to the bar and you ask the barkeep. Go ahead and ask them. This will be a part of your investigation roll.
Hello, excuse me, barkeep?
Yes, how may I help you?
Hello, yes, we understand that there is a town meeting going on here, and is that currently happening?
Yes, there's a town meeting in the back dining hall, but are you elders? You don't look to be around these parts.
No, we are actually adventurers, and we...
And as you say that, from the back of the room, adventurers? Oh, by God, let me have a look at you. What are you here for? What are you adventuring for? And you see this wiry, red-haired woman comes bouncing up to the bar, like, excitedly beside you and says, "You trying to go to the town meeting?"
Yes, we heard there was a town meeting happening, and we wanted to check in on it. We hear you have a problem with some wolves, and we are here to offer our services.
Well, stop selling, mister. I got you. Around on me, Mr. Barkeep, sir. And she slams her hand on the bar, and he brings out 3 ales and 3 shorter glasses of something a little bit harder. And she says, "Oh, just my special. I'll have one as well." And he brings her the same and says, Here, come on in. I'll actually introduce you. What's your names?"
Well, miss, my name is Doran.
Dorian, yeah, got it.
No.
And you, little miss.
It's Doran, but that's okay.
Yeah. And you, little miss.
My
What
name's
is your
Tiffany.
name? Oh, beautiful. It rolls right off the tongue, it does. And how about you, large fella?
My name is Sir Taintley. Don't
I
get too
was-
close.
Sir, even. All right. This is a true up little adventure party, ain't it? And so she walks in the room, kind of pulling the wood elf by the sleeve. And she walks in and she says, "All you fuckers, listen up. Listen. We got some right adventurers here. They're here to help us. They said that they'd take care of it all by them little old selves." And you see as the room turns to look at you, and as they do, go ahead and make a perception check real quick.
7.
Okay.
6.
Do I got a
12.
5? So you guys see as you walk into this room, it's a fairly plain room centered around a large wooden table. There are 8 chairs that surround the table, and 5 of the chairs are filled with humans. One of the seats that is filled by a human, you see that this red-haired woman kind of walks over and swats him and says, I got it, go. And she shoos him out of the room. And you see that the other chairs, one contains 2 halflings, one male and one female halfling, and they are actually standing on the chair so that they can be at head level to the table. And you see that as you guys entered, there was one of the halflings who was kind of like making a big scene of something, and he started was kind of yelling, and then the red-haired woman, who you still haven't got the name of, charged in and kind of interrupted, and you saw the look on his face of just pure fucking rage as he's like, I was in the middle of making a point and you interrupted. What the hell? And then you heard that as she said the word adventurers, his face kind of turned and he started to get a little bit of a happier face to himself. And as you guys enters, she goes, well, let me introduce him. This is the Dorninian or something like that. And then here's Tiff. And then here's the Taintly fellow, sir. Yes, sir, even. You see this? This is a right adventuring party. Go ahead and tell them of your exploits. What have you done?
Well, hello, everybody. As she said, my name is Doran. This is my compatriot Tiffany, and of course, as she said, Sir Taintly. We are adventurers that have been all around the realm. We have slayed many a creature and have gone up against many formidable foes, but we heard you have a problem and came to check it out.
And you see that the halfling who was causing kind of a ruckus when you guys walked in, who had settled down as soon as he heard the word of adventurers, you see as he kind of steps forward on his chair to get a little bit closer to you guys without falling off. And he says, well, my name's Tillis, and I am the lead of the Growers and Buyers Association here in our little town of Welton. And I don't believe that you are adventurers. Is there some kind of exploits you could tell us of?
Well,
you say you've traveled this land, but you did not detail any jobs. How do we know you're not just the riffraff coming to take us for what we have?
Well, let me tell you. I didn't want to bore you with all of the details and get into extreme detail, as we have had so many. But I can tell you a few. There was one in the woods where there was a festival going on, and during this festival, you see, this goblin horde came in and kidnapped some children. So we actually ran into the forest, and we came across this, we found about 5 wolves on the way. These goblins were using the wolves to pull their sleds with the children. We were able to...
And you hear an audible gasp when you say...
Yeah.
And you hear actually out in the tavern behind you, you hear some gasps of eavesdroppers who are just listening in and thinking of the horrors of wolves working with goblins.
Yes, it was quite the atrocious affair. But we were able to secure 2 of the children from the wolves, and but we had to actually go to the goblin camp to save the others. They were actually getting ready to perform a ritual, as one of the goblins was actually a wizard and had learned magic.
Okay. That's enough. We got it from
Like
there.
I said originally, I didn't want to bore you with all the details. That's why I just kept it short and sweet, darling. But now I had to. You wanted me to elaborate. You were the one.
So you see that the woman kind of like hushes you, and she's like, "That's enough. Like there's too many details in there for that to be fake." So Tillis begins speaking again. He says, "Well, I will say, as one of the more powerful organizations here in Welton, the Buyers and Sellers Association is looking to secure some kind of protection or eradication of these nuisances that have befallen our fair town. Are you available for hire, or are you just on your way through? I see that you have intruded on our meeting that can only possibly mean one thing."
Yeah, we are available at the moment. We are between jobs and happen to be passing through and heard about it, so we are available to eradicate this problem for you.
And you see, as he starts to lean over and talk to one of the other members, and he kind of nudges this guy, and you see that he's wearing kind of like priestly robes or something that would tell you that he is kind of like a religious figure in the town. and you see them muttering something, and he says, "Oh, yes, Father Merrickson and I have spoken on this, that if we were to contract someone from out of town, that we would be able to pay them a fee, but we ask what your rate is if you have one. We're willing to negotiate, as this is a problem for our town."
4 maidens.
That will be part. That'll be part of it. You see, but we are a little hesitant to negotiate a price right now, as we don't know the full extent of what is going on. We have just entered. How large is the wolf problem? Do you have any idea of where they're hiding out? Do we have to do all that legwork? You know, these kind of details are going to affect the price.
Well, we were just speaking on that, but I guess we can go back over it. And you see as he, irritatedly looks back to a piece of parchment he has before him, and he says, "So as we all know, the wolves have been an issue over the last month or two, and seemingly somehow tied to the disappearance of your brother. Again, apologies and well wishes to finding him, Father Merrickson. Our protector of Welton, Alexei Merrickson, your brother, he was our sorcerer and protector of the city. He has gone missing, and along with that came the appearance of these wolves. Some of you were worried and brought up that," and you see that one of the humans goes,
Yeah, what about the dead? I think they're fucking werewolves. They have to be. Think about it. They're werewolves.
and you see as Tully, or sorry, I have his name wrong, Tullus. You see as Tullus says, No, they cannot be werewolves, as there has been many full moons since their arrival, and they have not seen any change or lycanthropy in the affected, though the attacks have been severe and gruesome. There are survivors who have made it, and
well, I will say we did kill 2 of these wolves on the way into town. They did just seem like wolves to us.
Well, that is what our findings have found. We do know that they live somewhere off to the west end. Into the forest is normally how far we can chase them before we lose them. There was a young shepherd who was attacked and still survives and has not turned into a werewolf. And you see as he makes a kind of like a sharp eye gesture towards the fool who raised his voice in the middle of his little speech there. And he says, you see that Father Merrickson kind of says,
Yes, Welland is doing fine, and it seems to be taking well to the medicines, but still is having night terrors and having a rough time of getting back on his feet and getting away from this terrible trauma he has suffered. And he says, well, since you will not name a price, I can give a price to you, and we can negotiate from there. How does 500 gold pieces sound? Is that fair price, or?
Well, you see, as you don't actually know the location, you're going to need my tracking skills. And it sounds like there are quite a few wolves, and there is a high level of death involved, so I think we have to take that into account.
Name your price.
I was thinking somewhere around 1,000 to 1,200 gold pieces.
And you see as he kind of slowly turns and looks to the father, and he says, you see in a heated whisper, they're kind of going back and forth, and he's like, well, my boy, we can meet you at 800 gold pieces, but you are bleeding us dry. This is...
Does your town have any members of the oldest profession, if you catch my drift?
I do not. do you speak of...
A prostitute.
Oh, my word. Of course. Yes, we have, this tavern and inn is at times a brothel.
Is this a brothel?
At times a brothel, yes. Saturday evenings are a good time to come by. But if that would negotiate our price down, you may have credits. I'm not sure what you're looking for here.
So this is what we need, okay? We need your 800 gold, as you have offered, but to spice it up a little bit for us and get us closer to our prize, we are going to need my large bard friend over here. You see, he has quite the sexual appetite. He needs 4 women at once to really satisfy his needs. So if you get him one night with the 4 women and the 800 gold for us to have on completion of the job, I think we can strike a deal.
Or at least some coupons.
You see that as you say that he takes he has to have the company of 4 women at one time. You see is that the curly red-haired, wiry woman who found you all in the first place. You see if she kind of like eyes you up and down, and then kind of gives you a wink, and then you hear a little bit of giggling from the back of the room, back in the main room of the tavern, and you see that Tullus, as you kind of settle on a price, he says, "Well, that'll have it then. The 800 gold pieces and the coupons, as the large bard has described it as. And it is so. Should we shake on it?"
Before we shake, just one more thing. I apologize. I believe
Yes.
we're going to set out in the morning on this quest. We would like 3 rooms here for tonight.
It is done. It is done.
Okay, then yes, I think are you two in agreement with me? Is this
Dinner.
deal
We
strike
need
with
some
you?
dinner.
We can get dinner. Don't worry about that, Tiffany.
I got my ladies. I'm good.
All
Okay,
right.
yes,
And
we will shake on this, sir.
What are we shaking?
he's
Our
a little halfling.
hands. Our hands.
Oh, I gotta put this away. Hold on.
You see as
We've been over this so tangibly. You know, if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it.
I thought that was the point.
You see as the red-haired girl stands up and walks over and shakes your hand and says, "The name's Coral." And she walks out of the room after giving you a quick pat on the ass.
Whose hand?
No, the Goliath who was shaking something
My
he wasn't
giant
supposed
hand.
to. Yeah.
I grabbed both cheeks at once.
Yes. And so she leaves the room, and the halfling hops off the chair, walks over to you, and shakes your hand. And he says, "I suggest by starting with the fellow who was attacked. He was the one who was able to get the closest. The name is Welland Featherrock. I would seek him out. He's actually in this tavern himself. He's in one of the rooms receiving care from Father Merrickson. You may go and ask him. I do ask that you be gentle, though, as he has suffered some trauma from this encounter."
Oh yes, we will work with the utmost discretion and be very kind to this man to not trigger him, if you know what I mean.
Very well, then. We expect this job to be done in 3 days. Does that sound fair?
3 days starting from tomorrow, of course, because as I said,
Of
we are going to
course, of
sleep
course.
here tonight and set out in the morning.
Of course. And so the meeting seems to adjourn, and you see as they all stand and they give their salute of holding their crooks up to the middle, and then they turn and all leave in different directions. And now the tavern is yours. What do you wish to do?
Drink.
Drink.
Look for the glory hole.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Yes. I got a 17.
Oh, perfect. So you can see that there is no bathroom inside the building. It is an outhouse that you can go to. But you see it now. You see where it is. So you head out there and roll an investigation check to find Glory Hole.
Damn it. 7.
7. Well, there's one hole in there.
Oh.
It smells really bad. It only goes down, but
Oh.
it is an outhouse.
No glory.
So after your disappointment, you head back to the tavern, and you all sit there, and the girl Coral comes up and buys you all another round. And she says, "So where are you all coming from? You come off any exciting battles, or you have any stories?"
Oh, yes, as I was telling him there, we have many.
Wow, sounds like that goblin and wolf thing was kind of terrifying. Can I tell you the worst thing that's ever happened here?
Oh, please do.
So, these wolves showed up at it. No, I'm just kidding. You know that one. So...
As she's talking, I am walking away.
Oh, dirty. Oh, that guy's fucking rude, ain't he? Well, I'll tell you then, big boy. So, one time, our town sorcerer, he's the protector of Welton. He's the one that went missing. He spent his whole life here, protecting us from monsters and bandits, and the town once caught fire, and he's the one that was able to put it out. He calls on this kind of like crazy magic. It's wild. It's so wild. Him and his brother grew up here, and they've always kind of protected us. And then his brother became our holy man. One time, these bandits, they came in and they started stealing up all the women, and they almost got me. And a sorcerer set the fucker ablaze, just totally on fire. It was the craziest. And then he turned him into a potted plant. Just like a little tree in a little pot. It was bizarre, beautiful. Saved my life, saved all the other ladies, and I think he's the one that sponsored the first Saturday night brothels. He called it Getting Live on Saturday night, so it was we just called it Saturday Night Live, and it's a wonderful affair. You should really stay till Saturday.
Will do.
And
I will be here till Saturday. I must catch this feat for myself.
Go ahead.
Oh, hello.
Do I see? Can I get the bartender's attention?
Sure. You wave your hand, and the same gentleman from before comes up and asks, "So what do you be having?"
I am okay for now. The miss has already bought me a couple rounds, but I am hoping you could help me find someone.
Yeah, sure. Who are you looking for?
Welton Featherrock.
Welton. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's upstairs in the last room on the right. You head up there. He's in there. The father is probably in there right now.
Okay, I'm gonna head up that direction. You can continue with your story as this is happening simultaneously. I'm walking up.
Okay.
Simultaneously.
Does anyone else want to join him, or are you guys staying here and enjoying your drinks?
Oh, I walked away from them a long time ago.
I know.
I followed suit.
Oh, okay.
I was like, ooh, I want to see what's going on there too. Goodbye.
Yeah, so after she tells her story, you kind of see where he went, and you head up after him. Tiffany, what are you doing?
Coral, where can I go drop a log?
Oh.
I love Tiffany. She's my favorite. So Tiffany kind of like gives you like a weird look, like, and points out the door across the way behind the next row of buildings and towards the outhouse. And so the two of you who headed upstairs, Doran, you approach the room first, and you kind of see that the father is gathering some stuff up and heading back out of the room. And then that's when Sir Taintleaf catches up to you in the hallway as you are caught in the middle of the hall with Jonathan, Father Merrickson, and he sees you out in the hall and says, It's a great thing that you're doing for our town here. And you can see Father Merrickson is an older gentleman. He's a human. He's probably in his very late 50s, maybe, if you're giving him something for it. But he's got a kind face, wispy white hair. You would have swore that this dude was a wizard if you didn't see the robes and stuff that he's in, just because he has that classic wizard look. And he catches you in the hall and he says, I just ask that you are kind to Mr. Welland, and if he gets off on a screaming tangent again, just let it pass, and he'll be fine. If he gets too worked up, he will black out, so I will say, be gentle with your questioning, and do not press too firmly.
I'm never gentle, and I always press firmly.
Oh, God. And you see as he kind of, rubs his eyes as he walks away. He's like, I'll be back in 20 minutes or so, then to fix the damage you have done. And he walks off, and he's like, God damn it, I need a drink. And you see him kind of head towards the stairs.
I turn around to Sir Taintley and... Taintley, just, let's try to approach this one with a little bit of grace, okay? I do need to get some information from this gentleman, so...
I'm sorry.
Let's try to be a little graceful, shall we?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so you guys enter the room, and what is it that you are doing once you enter the room?
Do I see Welland?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you see Welland. He is laid up in a bed. He is bandaged pretty severely. He is, he was, you can see that he was attacked pretty viciously. He has bandages all over his right arm, kind of bandaging it to his chest as if it was broken and they're trying to get it to set again. You see that his foot is propped up and wrapped up as well, and you see his scratches and cuts basically almost all over his body, his face included. And you see that there are some fresh flowers on the dresser. It's just a small, single chest of drawers, and the bed is very basic. You imagine this is kind of what the other rooms look like as well. And you see him laying there. And what do you want to do?
I'm going to grab Sir Taintley off into a quick little sidebar. Sir Taintley, this man looks to be pretty rough. Do you possibly have anything in your arsenal that could help heal him, as you have healed us on the road before?
I do. I could use my healing word.
Let me keep that on deck for just a moment, okay?
Or I could charm him.
Don't do that. But just keep that on deck for a moment, okay?
Of course.
And then I kind of walk over to Wesley.
Sorry, I don't think his name is Wesley. It's Welland. Yeah.
Welland. You're right. Let me relook at my note here that I scribbled on a napkin. Welland. I walk up to Welland.
Okay, and he says,
Take notes?
Oh, Father, I can't. Oh. Wait, who are you?
Oh, hello, sir. I understand your name is Welland Featherrock. Is that true?
Yes, that's me. I'm Welland Feather. Oh. Sorry, it's hard to talk still from the injuries.
Well, Welland, you see, my name is Doran, and this is my friend here, Sir Taintley. We are... The town has commissioned us to get rid of this wolf problem that has been plaguing you.
Oh God, the wolves! Not the wolves!
Oh, if you don't mind, Wellen, my friend here may be able to help your injuries. Do you mind if he says a few words to you?
I'll whisper sweet nothings in your ear, and they'll make you feel better.
You're quite terrifying, but if it'll help.
So go ahead and read us what the spell does.
A creature of your choice that you can see within range regains hit points equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. This spell has no effect on undead or constructs. At higher levels, when you cast this spell using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, the healing increases by 1d4 for each slot level above 1st.
Okay. And so this healing word, as you are a bard, you can say a word or a phrase or a limerick or whatever you feel is adequate for the transference of this spell. And what level are you casting this at? First level or second? Well, you have 2 different levels of spells that you can do, I believe. So first and second. Second level. Okay, so you'll add that additional 1d4. And then go ahead and give us whatever your word is or phrase is that you're going to do to heal. And then roll 2d4, I believe? Or is it 3d4?
It's 2d4.
Okay.
Plus 2.
Okay. So go ahead and roll the little pyramid-looking guy. That's your d4. And then...
And the cube. No, not the cube.
Yeah, pyramid. Just the pyramid.
Pyramid.
And then you're going to roll that. And then tell us what you heal him for. And then tell us what you say to initiate this spell.
All right, let's see. Wait a minute.
So roll that d4 twice, and then add 2 to the total.
Ooh, I got a 7.
7, perfect. So
7.
You lean over and you go to whisper in his ear, and what do you say?
I lean in, and I tell you, "Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear, tell you something that you might like to hear."
And as you say those last couple words, you see that the wounds across his throat, where he has some bruises and some cuts, actually start to seal themselves up, and the bruises start to lighten. Not entirely, but they do lighten. And you see as he... Oh, wow. Well, wow, thank you, sir. You are still very terrifying. You're a large fellow, but that helped so much. Thank you. You said that you guys were hired to get rid of the wolves?
Oh, God, yeah.
Not the wolves.
So I just had to ask you, Wellen. I know that you were close to them, as it appears. Where did you see them last? Like, do you have some kind of marker or a trail you were on where I could possibly pick up their trail to lead me to them?
Well, yeah, we were close. Me and a couple of the other guys who are just normally just shepherds. We were kind of put together as a posse to go and hunt these bastards down. And we follow them westward into the woods there, and about halfway through of tracking this party or this pack of wolves, we started to see that they're headed towards the mountains just beyond the woods themselves, and that's when they had ambushed us. They attacked us with a strange cunning, and I was bitten and then trampled by my compatriots, and I just couldn't get up. I was blacking out, and you see, like, he starts to, like, get tears in his eyes and starts to kind of panic a little bit, and he's like,
Don't worry too much about that part, Wellen. Just take a deep breath now. Take a deep breath.
Oh God.
Just take a deep breath, close your eyes, and I need you to picture for me. Right before that, let's not get into that moment, because I know that's a hard moment for you. So let's just close your eyes And let's back it up just a couple minutes before that, okay? You're in the woods.
Okay.
You're in the woods. You're just walking with your
Oh god, the wolves!
No. You're in the woods. You're with your compatriots. There's no wolves.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. So we killed him?
No. But
Where
in the woods are you?
There's less trees.
Yes, that's typical of most woods.
The wolves, they're everywhere. So many wolves. We traveled like a day's journey into the woods, so we were almost dead center in the woods, and then like a half day from there, west, and that's when they attacked. We had just wrapped up camp and we were headed out, and then they got me. And you see like his eyes go full water, like full tears. But he's not like panicking. He's just full crying as he's reliving this moment. And he's like, this one came out of nowhere and it bit me by the shoulder and by the throat, and it threw me down, and one of the guys, Ben, he got a hit on it, and then it backed up, and then it cornered us, and we all started to run, and I tripped, and they trampled me, and I blacked out. Oh god. And all I remember was the dark. And I don't know if I could talk about this anymore. I don't.
Settle down. You're fine. We're here. As I caress him on my giant hands.
Roll a persuasion check for me to try and get him to listen and calm down. So that'll be your D20, and then you'll find your persuasion skill.
13.
So he you see as he's like strangely comforted, almost like a child coming into their mother's embrace or their father's embrace. Like your large hands dwarf this halfling, and it's funny because you're sitting on the edge of his bed. And his bed is like a regular normal size, but it looks tiny compared to you. So comparatively, this halfling looks minuscule. He looks like one of your shoes compared to how big you are compared to him. Like, you are just massive. And as you're comforting him, you see as he kind of like, thank you, sir. Thank you. Can I be honest with you guys for a second? No.
Of course.
No one believes me. No one listens. They just think I've gone crazy. But
tell us.
When I was fading in and out of consciousness, I swear, I promise you, and he looks you dead in the eyes. Certainly, he looks you dead in the eyes, and he says, I swear to you on all of our flock, on every sheep here in Welton. I swear to you, as they dragged me by my ankle, I heard them talking. I heard them arguing. I heard them fighting over whether they should eat me or let me go, or I swear to you, I heard their voices. I need you guys to roll an insight.
Nat 20. Yatch.
Okay. How about you, Certainly?
I got an 8.
An 8. You're not quite
with a 2.
You're not quite sure if he's crazy, but I mean, man, this dude's been through a lot, so it could be either way. Doran, as you stand there, peering over the shoulder of Certainly and looking into the eyes of this halfling who's been through so much, you know that he believes this to his core. Like, he believes this with all of his being. Every fiber in his body believes that he heard them talking. He heard these wolves conversing with each other, arguing amongst each other, like he said, and he believes it 100%. And he says,
well, go ahead, Welland. Go ahead, Welland.
He says, I know it sounds crazy. They're just wolves. They're just animals. They're dogs. Feral dogs. Monsters. But
I promise you, I heard them.
I believe you, Welland. I believe you. I am going to check into this while we are taking care of the situation. So don't you worry your little heart, okay? You stay here and you rest up, and we'll see you in about three days.
Thank you again, mister. I didn't catch your name.
Oh, I'm sorry, Welland. I feel like such a rude boy right now. My name is Doran.
Doran and large scary fella. What's your name?
Sir Taintley.
Sir Taintley. I will forever remember this kindness that you did to me. You did for me. Thank you.
I'll do more kindness to you later.
I'm not sure how to take that, but thank you.
Oh, you'll take it. You'll take it all.
Oh God. Oh.
So,
That's what they all say.
And you see, as you start to say that, Father Merrickson steps in and says, "Have you done enough damage yet? It's
No, not yet.
Oh God, just go. And so he shoos you guys out of the room to take care of his patient. Tiffany, what have you been doing in this time?
So, Bruce, before they leave, do they hear some commotion coming from downstairs?
Commotion.
They can, depending on what's happening.
They hear some singing. Very bad singing.
Okay.
So Tiffany and Coral are on the bar singing.
I love it. So yeah, you guys have been in there for probably about, 15, 20 minutes, but Tiffany is notorious for slamming back as many beers as she can, or as many ales or meads. She is the one that you guys go to whenever there's a drinking contest for some job or for just some easy cash. You guys always throw her into the drinking contest because she can drink anyone under the table, but she also loves to have a good time. So she's willing to jump up there with the drunkard and sing her songs and sing the shanties and go toe to toe with anyone who wants to. And so as you guys step out of the room and Father Merrickson takes over, you guys hear the telltale sounds of Tiffany the dwarf drinking someone down and singing songs about it.
So, Tiffany, what's that sound like?
I was just going to ask, what's that sound like, Tiffany?
Well, Coral and I have now become best friends. So we're singing Don't Stop Believin'.
And what does that sound like?
Just a small town boy living in South Detroit.
Fantasy
He took
South
the
Detroit.
midnight train going anywhere.
Now, for copyright reasons, I think I have to stop you there because I don't know if we're able to sing the full length of a song on the podcast without getting in trouble. But you get the picture. You guys come down, and there are 3 guys laying on the ground at the bar, and you see Tiffany and Coral standing on the bar, singing about fantasy South Detroit and how a lonely boy came from there to become something great. And you guys spend the rest of the night drinking and being merry. And just as the night is kind of coming to an end and closing, you, Tiffany, Coral, and Sir Taintley are all sitting there on top of the roof of the bar because somehow you guys made it up there while drinking. And you guys are all sitting there, and Coral goes, "So, what are your plans? How are you going to do this? What are you going to do? How are you going to catch these fucking bastards?"
Am
Yeah,
I
you guys
there?
all 3 are up there.
Okay. Well, you see, I am a very highly regarded wood elf. I'm very good at tracking, so I did get some information from our friend Welland about the approximate location where he was when he was attacked. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to pick up the trail from there to lead me to their hideout.
And then we're gonna crush some skulls.
Oh, yes, I love it. And she gives you a high five, and she looks over at you, Doran, and says, "Well, if you're so good at tracking, track this." And she takes your cup and tosses it behind her and, almost falls backwards off the pitch of the roof. And she goes, "Woo! Oh, You almost had to track my brains down off the ground here. And she's got the hiccups. Oh, I think that's about time for me. I'm gonna call it a night. And she stands up shakily on the roof.
You're gonna call it a night? You're gonna miss Sir Taintley's show?
Oh, yes.
Sir Taintley does like to perform, and, when we stop places. I'm making this character choice for you.
Yes.
Yes, that's my OnlyPans account. Nobody knew about.
No, but you're he usually likes to get on stage and play.
What better stage than the roof of a tavern?
Well, you see, he likes to play for tips, darling. It's all about the money, you see. He uses the money by himself, whores.
If he plays well enough, I'll give him these tips. And she starts to undo her top button. The better you play, the more buttons come down. And she kind of backs up. She's on top of the roof with you guys, but she's backing up further away to kind of give you some space to do your performance. And gives you kind of like this knowing look of like, well, some music for some buttons. Let's see it.
No. Why do I have to be put on the spot?
So
why do you do this to me?
You can roll a performance check. You'll have performance on your sheet there. And what I'll have you do is roll that, add your performance plus your proficiency, and then act accordingly. So if you roll a 1, you have to do a 1's worth of a performance. If you roll a 20, if you roll a 20, you have to give us something worth a 20.
Oh my. Oh no. Oh no.
Something tells me he rolled well.
I got 17.
Ooh, okay. So let's hear it. What's your 17's worth of performance?
All right, I guess I'm gonna. I start to take off all of my clothes piece by piece.
Okay.
Yes. I start taking off my giant sock, and I throw it at the crowd, and it covers several people because I'm such a large individual. They can't even see the rest of the show. That's how giant my socks are. And when I take my socks off, it's about to go down, as in my pants. They come down, and everything just hits the floor. With a slap.
And as you do that, as you begin to reveal yourself, you see she undoes another button and she gets a hiccup and she falls backwards off the roof. Oof.
Oh God.
I'm going to
somebody with my penis.
Leap and try to slide down the roof and grab her.
Okay, roll a attack. This will be your version of grabbing her. So roll an unarmed attack.
Not like a dexterity or a athletics check? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you could probably do an athletics check, yeah.
You said athletics, I heard dexterity.
Acrobatics would work as well. It's a dexterity based.
Yes. Okay. Not great. 10.
10. You just miss and you grab what you can and you end up yanking her skirt off as she falls backwards off of the building. And when you look over the side, you see that she lands in a cart full of wheat.
Ugh.
So she's safe, but she's totally blacked out and in the cart. And I'll say you guys call it a night there, get a full rest, and wake up early in the morning to do your plan of attack. So you guys wake up early the next morning, and you have the tavern to yourself while you sit and eat breakfast to plan and plot and decide what your next plan of attack is.
So, as I said last night, my plan is to go where Welton last was and see if I can pick up the wolf tracks from there to hopefully lead us to their hideout. Now, I will say I think it's an odd bit suspicious that the sorcerer seemed to disappear at the same time that these happened, so I'm wondering if he is behind this.
Yes, I agree with you, Dorn.
So let's prepare ourselves that not only are we possibly taking out some wolves, but maybe a crazy, deranged sorcerer as well.
Sounds like a dark wizard to me.
You guys converse and talk about your plan, and you go back and you talk to Tillis, the halfling in charge of the buyers and sellers organization, actually right across the street from the tavern. As you heard that Willen was hired to go attack these things, and you get the idea or the direction in which they went, and you head out in that direction. So you guys head out, and it was a 1.5-day journey to where they found, or where they were ambushed.
So before we take off to go on this journey, you said we went over to Tillis real quick. Can I talk to him before we go?
Yeah. Oh, yes, you required my company here. Is there anything I can do for you?
Tillis, I just want to make sure that we're not getting swindled here. You see, you told me we had 3 days to accomplish this task, but after talking to Welland, I found it was a 1.5 days just to get to where he was. So a 1.5 days there, a 1.5 days back, that's already our 3 days. So I think that giving us a hard 3-day cutoff is a little short on time, especially when you already seem to have known this information.
Well, you see, my adjustment was calculated. You are skilled adventurers, are you not? Well, these were merely farmers and common folk who were arranged in some kind of rudimentary posse to go and try and cure what ails us outright. So you all should be able to make it there and back in 3 days, or are you asking for an extension?
I think an extra day would be fair, wouldn't you? 4 days? I mean...
Alright, I will grant you this extra day for travel and potential mishaps, but 4 days no more, or we start to garnish the payment we give you by 50 coins a day.
This we can agree on, and I stuck my hand out to shake his hand again.
Okay, he shakes your hand.
Okay, now we go off.
Okay, one of you guys roll a tracking check for me, so it'll be your...
Survival.
Survival.
I can roll that.
Or nature. Because it's a part of nature of tracking and all that stuff. So survival or nature, I'll let you roll.
I will roll a 5.
Okay.
12 total.
Ooh, okay.
Not great, but...
You just meet the DC of what you needed to not hit any speed bumps in the first day of travel. So you actually make it to the point at where Welland was attacked within a day. So you actually make a 1.5 day journey in a single day. So you guys are making really good time because you found the tracks and the signs early. But it's the end of the first day, and you guys are going to take a rest out here. So I need one of you to roll me a D20 for perception. Just one of you guys. Well, since Doran, since you rolled the nature or the survival, one of you guys has to roll the perception. So that'll either be Sir Taintley or Tiffany to roll. Oh, okay.
I just did it. I was like, I'm waiting. I was like, I guess I'll throw my dice over there.
Yeah.
What am I looking for?
So you're gonna. This is a perception roll.
22.
22. Holy crap! Perfect.
No.
So.
Sorry, 19.
Oh, okay.
Close.
Still really good. So you guys set up for a watch, and you are sitting there, and as the night comes to an end, you hear some rustling down where you guys are headed. You hear some rustling and some branches snapping, and you start to everyone starts to wake up, but you were the last one to take watch, and that's what you heard. So what do you want to do with that information?
Oh, listen up, everybody. I heard some rustling coming along down the road in the brush. What do we do about that? What do we want? What's our cause of action? I'm scared. I'm a bard. I just sing and dance and do silly things.
Can I guess, make a nature check or you tell me what check I need to do to see if anything is creeping about. So I don't know if you want to do perception or nature or...
It would most likely be a perception check to try and survey your surroundings. Unless you're looking for something specific, then it'd be investigation.
So I know there was rustling. I'm investigating specifically looking where Certainly had said that there was an investigation.
Okay. So what's your investigation?
Rolling investigation would be 19. If it was perception, it would have been 22, but I know I'm looking for something specific, so 19.
Okay, so as you kind of, and how are you doing that? Are you just looking specific? Are you just walking straight over to it? How are you doing it?
I am, like I said, looking specifically kind of where he said, seeing if there's any branches moving. I'm looking for something moving inside the bushes, looking around the bush to see if I see any disturbed ground around it.
Okay, so with your 19, I will say that gives you this kind of leeway. It gives you this kind of second chance here. You do hear the rustling and the snapping of twigs and branches and stuff as you start to approach, and it gives you this kind of itch in the back of your head of like, well, if this is something that's going to hurt me, I should probably try and be a little bit careful here, trying to be a little bit sneaky here.
Okay, I am going to go full on stealth mode, and...
Okay, and are you guys following him? If you guys are, I would say roll a stealth check as well.
Oh, stealth check.
Kind of like hold up my hand, like, y'all stay back a second while I check this out.
Okay.
Give a hold signal.
Fine. I'll stay back here. Fine then. Jeez. I was scared anyways.
Okay, so roll stealth to approach and investigate further.
Oh no. That is a 2 plus 6, 8.
Okay.
Such a high modifier and
great.
still ended up terrible.
Nice. So as you approach and you are seeing, the ground is kind of scuffed up. The branches and stuff that are snapping are some dense branches. Like, as you approach, you see bits of feather on the ground, and you see the telltale signs of a large predator.
Mm-hmm.
And as you go to sneak up with your 8, you bump into a branch that had been knocked down, and it makes a kind of like a snap sound, and the rustling and stuff in front of you stops. As you see a massive owlbear barrel through the bushes in front of you and make an attack. An 11.
Does not hit. I'm gonna turn and kind of yell to everyone, "We have a problem!"
Oh boy.
So you guys roll for initiative.
17.
17. 18.
12.
12. As this thing comes charging through the bushes and tries to attack Doran, just kind of what you guys see off the bat without having to do a perception check or an investigation check on it, you guys can see that this thing is really thin, like emaciated just about, and you can tell it's starving. It has this kind of wild look in its eyes, and you see that it also has quite a few injuries on it already. It's got some stuff that's barely starting to clot and seal up. It's also got some like gashes, and it seems to be limping a tiny bit. But starting at the top of the order is Certainly. You are probably about 15 feet back from the bushes where this thing erupted.
Shit. I wanted to turn into a plant or something. Fine, I guess I can't do that.
Well, you can use your action to hide, which would be you roll a stealth. Yeah, so roll your d20 and add your stealth to try and hide.
Oh, 10.
10?
Oh.
Is that plus your stealth?
Oh, yeah.
Oh god. Okay, well yeah,
I rolled a 10.
you push yourself up against the trunk of a tree, and you kind of feel like, oh, I can't see it, so it can't really see me, right? Like that's how this
I'm
works,
large.
right? Yeah, but you're a very big fella. So, and then you have a movement, but I assume because you're hiding, you're not wanting to move. I will go ahead and say that next up is Tiffany.
I'm gonna run at him with my great axe.
Okay.
2 + 6, 8.
8 to hit.
Correct.
That does not hit. So you charge up the 15 feet and close the distance, and you run and you jump up with your great axe in hand, and you swing down just as this thing rears back a tiny bit to dodge the attack. And you see as it looks deep into your eyes, and you can tell that this thing is just looking at you like food.
So, Tiffany, you have 2-weapon fighting, so that means you can attack it with your offhand.
Which would be a punch.
Yeah, it should be a punch because you don't have a second weapon. So if you want to roll a second attack, you can.
Yeah, let's punch him.
Or you can use your bonus action now to rage, which will help you in your attacks later.
Yeah, let's punch him.
Okay, so go ahead and
I
roll
love
a
it.
second attack roll, and don't add the modifier.
4.
Nope, does not hit. So yeah, as you see this thing look at you, you swing out at it, and it kind of like, its like reaction is really quick. It snaps its head back a little bit, just missing your blow. And can I just say, I love Tiffany. She is so real. She's just like, I'm here. I fucking swung at it and missed. I'm gonna try and punch it now. Like, I love it. Okay, next up is the owlbear itself, and you see as the saliva starts to pull at the beak of this massive creature. Since you guys are newer and you don't know what an owlbear looks like, I will go ahead and show you.
I think I have seen an owlbear before. It's quite terrifying. It's super ethereal, you guys.
So it's got an owl's head and neck to the shoulders, and it has like these feathered bear arms, and it has like little giant claws coming off of it, and it is a massive, basically like grizzly bear that is also a massive like barn owl.
That's why my instant instinct was to hide.
Yes.
Or disguise myself. I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, good instincts there. So it sees you, like I said, and it sizes you up and says, yep, I can eat this. And so it's going to make 2 attacks at you, one with its beak and one with its claw. Tiffany, because she ran up into its face.
Gotcha.
So that is an 18 to hit,
That hits.
and it's going to do 1d10 plus 5. 9 damage, and then it's going to try and bite at you. I'm sorry, that was the bite, and it's going to try and claw you now. And that is a 19,
Yeah, that hits.
and then it's 2d8. 1 and a 1. Jesus, you got lucky there. So it's only 7 damage there. And then that ends its turn. Next up is Doran.
So, as I see it's kind of occupied with Tiffany, I am going to circle around the side of it, and I'm going to pull a super sweet elf move and jump up onto its back.
Oh god.
And then, once I am firmly mounted on its back, I'm going to try to stab it with my short sword.
Okay, so make an athletics roll. I'm just gonna call it a DC 15. And then if you land on it, make your attack with advantage.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics, because you're trying to grapple onto this thing. So you're not only trying to jump, you're not trying to jump on it only, but you're trying to hold yourself on it so you can attack too, and that's more of a strength base. I think the most important part of that is the holding on part. So I'm gonna say it's in athletics.
Would that possibly be animal handling?
No. Literally, yes. Handling an animal, yes. But no, not in the roll.
There's no difference between animal handling and athletics for me. They're the same modifier, but I just
then yes.
I just wanted to,
Yeah, I dig it.
14.
14. You just missed the DC on there. So you go to jump on the back of this thing, and as you grab onto it, you can tell that because it's so emaciated and like so malnourished, that its feathers and its fur aren't holding into its body very well anymore, because it's lost so much weight and it's just like not doing great. So the grip of feathers that you have in your hand just pull right out, and you hear it as it squeals out in pain, and you fall off the other side. You can still make an attack and see how you do, but and because it is engaged, you do have flanking.
Okay, perfect. So,
but that'll count as your movement for that athletics check.
Yes, of course. So first, not advantage. 15. So 15 for my first attack, and then for my offhand attack, it is an 18.
Both hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
3, 6, 4, 10.
Ooh, good hit. You can see this thing already has like a good amount of damage on it from whatever it encountered. You can tell that this damage was a lot for it. You can see that it's limping a little bit harder now as it puts weight back on that leg. Next up is Sir Taintly. You are hiding.
I'm hiding. Can I just stay hiding?
You can if you really want to. You can also use your movement.
You can dish out bardic inspiration as a bard, which means from your...
could. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
you can aid your fellows and then hide again, depending on what it is.
Yes, I want to. But who?
Well, both of your other comrades are directly in the face of this thing, so I think at this point anyone would help.
Anyway. Oh, jeez. Then I'm going to cast my inspiration.
Okay. What do you do to cast your inspiration? How do you inspire them to do better?
I pull out my pan flute and I play a tune.
Okay.
A sweet, sweet melody.
Let's hear
It's
it.
the Beatles.
Okay. So you give a toot on your pan flute and play them a sweet song. And who are you targeting with this spell? You have Tiffany or Doran.
I'm going to target Tiffany because she's got that sweet fire.
All right. So, Tiffany, you feel this music basically hit the back of your head, and you're like, oh shit, I love this jam. This is what I normally drink to. Like, this is a good tune. And you feel inspired to do better in your next attack or outcome. And so that gives you a d6 that you can add to an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Just know that you have that, and you can use that when you need. And it's actually... your turn, but are you gonna hide again, or are you gonna... What are you gonna do?
No, I won't hide anymore. I'll actually try and be close. I'll attack with my rapier.
Okay, you move up the 15 feet, and you get alongside, and because your other friends are engaged with it, you can actually roll your attack dice, which is your d20, twice, and take the larger number.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
That's
called flanking.
Yeah, flanking advantage.
Oh. Ooh, I got a 4 on that one. Let's see if this one's better. Ooh, I got an 18. Son of a biscuit.
And I believe your attack is +2, so you actually rolled a 20. Or a total 20. So yeah, you hit, and
That's a
then
good idea.
go ahead and roll damage.
1d8.
1d8 plus some.
Plus, where's 8?
The two pyramids on each other.
It's 8. Rounded.
Yeah.
I can count. I'm silly. Alright. Yeah. I got a 2.
Hey, damage is damage.
The 2
So
plus
you,
anything?
no, I think it's just
I
straight.
put nothing into my
Okay.
strength.
Well, it's actually a finesse weapon, so it's actually your dex would add to it.
Oh, I have a -1 actually.
Yeah. So yeah, you play your pan flute, and you see like the hairs on the back of her dwarven neck stand up, kind of, and you know that it means your inspiration is taking effect, and you think that she's gonna do better, and you're like, well, shit, I might as well jump in there too, and you sprint up and slide along the ground and back to a standing position, and you pull your rapier out and give a quick slash against the shoulder of this owlbear, and you hear it as it looks at you, and you see it kind of snarl and growl, and you see that your blade struck true. Next up is Tiffany.
Okay, we're taking the great axe. Chop
Okay.
him up.
Hell yeah, get it.
Okay. 10 plus 6, 16.
16. That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
11.
Alright, that's a good chunk of damage.
Oh, I can punch him again?
You can't.
If you'd like, yeah.
Let's punch him in the face.
Alright, go ahead and roll the hit.
So don't forget you do have an inspiration dice
Yep, you can
Six.
roll that d6.
to add to it.
You're welcome.
9.
9 total.
9 does not hit.
I really want to punch him in the face.
As you square up to this owlbear after receiving this kind of like inspiring little tune to the back of your head, you bring your axe down firmly on its shoulder, doing a huge amount of damage. It was just the shoulder that just received a slice from Certainly, and you see as your axe digs in, you pull it out and you go to punch it in the face, but it looks over to where its shoulder just received the damage and you just miss. Next up is the owlbear. Just receiving damage from the largest imposing thing in view, it decides to go after the skinny thing, the most edible thing next to it instead, to try and grab its fruit and run. And so he's going to go after Doran. He's going to attack you once with the beak and once with the claw. So that is an 11 plus 8, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, 19.
That hits.
Alright. And then I'm going to roll the second attack with the claw. And that is 22 to hit. I'm sure hits.
Yes.
First one is a d10. That'd be 9 damage plus 5, so 14. And the second one is full damage 8 and a 6. What is that? 14.
What did you
So
say?
that was
Total of 24. That's it.
that's what it looks like here, bud. Not doing so good.
Not doing hot.
All
Need some
right.
magic life.
And then it is going to rear back on its hind legs and just give the deepest, loudest screech you have ever heard. It's just like this massive, just. And I need each one of you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
So roll a d20,
So,
and then
yeah.
you should have in the top left of your screen a little box that is saving throws.
says saving throws. Yeah.
So you're going to add the one that says con, which is, and the modifier in there for a save.
I got 15.
Okay, that passes.
So I got a total of 20.
I
Oh, that passes.
got a 14.
Oh, that passes. You guys all saved. That could have been bad because you guys all would have been knocked on your ass, incapacitated. That would have been rough because that means you would have been laying on the ground, unable to do anything. So you guys all succeed that, and he ends his turn. Next is Dorian. You just received 2 attacks from this massive owlbear and then screeched at directly in the face. And you did nothing but wipe the slobber from your brow.
I
And Tiffany's kind of like, oh hell yeah, that's my jam.
If I use my action to disengage, that means I do not take an
Uh-huh.
opportunity attack when I leave, correct?
True.
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Just
So you
to
use
back up 35 feet.
Okay, your full movement?
Yes.
Okay, so you disengage and you back up. Are you, you actually, I'm gonna make this sound dope. You, disengage by doing a backflip and then tumble and rolling and standing, back up on your feet and, kind of shuffling back a tiny bit to your full range of movement backwards. And you are now out of combat with the owlbear and did not take an opportunity to attack.
Excellent.
Okay. So next up is back to the top of the order, which is Certainly. You just watched as your friend Doran just did a backflip, a tumble, and a slide to be further back away from this beast after it just screeched in all of your guys' presence and has taken quite a bit of damage.
Doran looks
I'm
rough.
going to use my 2nd level healing word.
Okay.
Good friend.
He needs it. I'm just saying.
There it is. He does. It sounds like So I'm going to roll 2d4.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Plus 2. Alright. Ooh. There's a 2. There's a 1. Dang. 3.
So 5 total. So you receive 5 healing from a healing word, which sounds like...
Spopel.
And you just instantly feel like, oh, I know that. I feel so much better.
Yes.
So certainly, I believe that was a bonus action to cast.
Yes.
So you still have an action and a movement. You can
I
attack.
guess I'll still attack it with my rapier.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why
Go
not?
for it.
Here.
Roll the hit.
Here's.
Tiffany is still engaged, so you get to roll it twice and take the higher.
Well, I got the 20 off the first
Oh,
roll, so-
hell yeah. So this is a special thing that happens with nat 20s. If you roll, was it a nat 20 or total 20?
It was a nat 20.
Nat 20. All right. Go ahead and roll another nat 20, or roll again and see if you get another nat 20.
Wait, roll
So you
the
got a
20
nat.
again.
Yeah, roll the 20 again. If you get another nat 20, I'm gonna do something special.
Oh, jeez. This is a lot
Pressure's
of pressure.
on.
This is too much pressure. I got an 8.
Okay. So with a nat 20 is already awesome because what that does is it doubles your damage. So what you're gonna do is you are going to roll your damage dice and then roll it again, or you can roll it and then double it.
Oh my. So if I get a high number right off the bat, I just can choose to double that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wouldn't have gotten in the box. I got a 6, so I'm going to double that 6.
All right, so you do 12 damage to this motherfucker. You guys see that as certainly gives his I don't even know what you did. What was the sound you made for your healing word?
Spopel.
Spopel. As he utters this word that you guys know means that you're going to receive some healing. I'm sure from your travels you've learned this. You see as he pulls out his blade and kind of like with a fire in his eyes for seeing his friend take so much damage, you see him swipe and it strikes true just underneath the collarbone and deep into this owlbear's neck as he had turned to face the other way and left himself exposed. And you see he does a great, terrible wound against this owlbear, and you see blood starts to pour out. This thing is looking rough, like really bad. And that ends your turn, and it is Tiffany's turn.
Alright. Back at it with the great axe.
Smashy smash. Hell yeah, back at it again.
7, 6, 17.
17 hits.
1 plus 4, 5.
Ooh. How do you want to do this? This is where you get to decide what it looks like when you destroy this thing. You met exactly the last amount of hit points this thing had left.
Okay, I want to slice its head and then punch it.
Perfect. Okay. So, yeah, you drag your axe across the brow of this beast, blinding it. And as it is blinded, you punch it so hard that its beak caves in, it chokes on its own blood, and dies. Congratulations! You guys solved my owlbear puzzle by killing it.
Yeah.
That's 25 points, and I killed it, so that's all for me.
So you see Tiffany pull out a small little notebook and write down 25 points, and then she writes down a total and folds back up and tucks it back away. You guys just slain this owlbear. Go ahead and roll an investigation on it.
12.
12?
I can tell you it's not going to be good.
Okay.
5.
That's not good.
Yes.
21.
21,
Okay.
holy
She
shit.
didn't mention it's a nat 20.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You can see this owlbear's family tree unfold before you. Literally, it's a tree, and you can see the whole family of owlbears living in it.
Oh god, run! Run!
With you...
We're out of here.
Stealth the fuck out of here.
With your 12, I'll start there. With your 12, you can tell that there's definite bite marks in this owlbear. And they don't appear to be other owlbear type bite marks. You can tell it had many teeth, and there's more than a few of them around its body. You can also tell this thing has been starving for a while. You can't quite tell how long, but it's definitely not eating a good meal in about a minute or two. The 21, you notice that this thing is beat the fuck up, and the reason why it's had such a hard time, like with these wounds that it came here with, is just because it hasn't been getting enough nutrition or sleep. You can tell this thing has just kind of been moving, like constantly moving, because if it stops, it'll die or it'll be attacked again. And you can tell that it was attacked by a wolf or many wolves, and you can see that the wounds that are existing have probably been there for about a month at least. And as you look at this thing and you kind of inspect it, you see that its tracks are coming from the direction you guys are headed to. And you can kind of tell that you probably need to tread a little bit lightly around this area, just because you're not sure how close or how many there were when this thing did get attacked. And then with your 5, you can tell it's an owlbear that hasn't eaten very good.
Perfect.
Yep. All right. So with that information,
Can I take a short rest?
yeah, absolutely. So you guys just woke up, got attacked, and you guys need a breather. I would say that you guys have the benefits of a short rest in the time it took to do the investigation on this body and kind of survey the surroundings, make sure you guys weren't going to get ambushed or anything. So you guys take your short rest, and you use whatever hit dice you do, and you begin to set out. And it is approaching about midday, so you guys still have a good amount of the day left. From this point, you kind of remember that Welland didn't make it past this point. So you guess you probably have about another day's journey to the end of this forest here. So just to speed things along, I'll need a nature check from one of you, most likely Doran, to track anything he can and make sure you guys are headed in the right direction. And if you guys want to help him with that, what that would look like is you would say, I want to give him advantage, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to help him look for tracks, or I'm going to help him look for,
How do I give you advantage?
whatever. However you want to describe you're giving him advantage.
Just say what you would do alongside me to help that.
With my great height and size, I look and peer over the trees and brush.
So you're going to
I'm
climb
gonna
to the
look at
top
the
of the
ground
trees and
for
see
more
if you're headed
track.
the right direction. And Tiffany, what are you doing?
Yes.
You guys are both taking your suited natures, as the dwarf is close to the ground and the Goliath is close to the sky. So go ahead and roll with advantage. And instead of having double advantage, just add +5 to whatever you roll.
On the 20?
No. He's going to roll it. But you basically, you gave him, you gave him your dice, basically.
Thank you, because the first one was like a 4. But my second roll is a 26.
Ooh. Yeah, you actually make it a full day's journey fairly quickly. You actually still have light left in the day, and you made a full day's journey in half a day at this point because of how quickly you were moving and quickly you were able to find where you were going due to the help from your eye in the sky and your nose to the ground, who kind of helped you plot your way along. And as you guys are approaching this kind of clearing before the edge of the woods, I need you all to make a perception check. And let me know what you roll.
15.
Nice.
16.
Nice.
22.
Yeah, up ahead you hear some padding, like a wolf's feet hitting ground, but not quickly, just kind of moving around, scuffling a little bit here and there, but not much. The 16, you hear about the same. But you can kind of get a little bit of a silhouette through the brush. Not much, but just enough to notice that there's something up there moving. The 22, you hear slight yips and barks, and you hear kind of like growling, and you hear like, no, that's not gonna work. No. and then you hear some like barks every now and again, but not loud, like kind of subtle down low, and you hear some more growling. As you guys approach, how are you wanting to proceed from this point, knowing what you know?
I am going to move up stealthily and try to get eyes on this thing. So I can't see it yet, right?
Okay. No.
Okay. I'm gonna move up.
Well, actually, with your 22, I will say you kind of get an outline through the branches itself, because of being a wood elf. You have this kind of ability to like unfocus your eyes and get the big picture through the little pins of light, and you see that there is the mountains outside this forest, and you see that there is a kind of a cave structure up ahead, and you smell smoke. You smell like campfire smoke, not like something burning or something cooking, but you smell like campfire smoke, and you can kind of see a trail of smoke coming from above the trees where you get little glimpses through. And then you said you wanted to proceed stealthily?
Yeah, I'm gonna stealth up to see what I can see.
Okay.
He's going to try and
are you
see
guys
what he
following
can see.
him, or?
Yes,
Yeah.
I follow behind.
Yes.
Okay, so I need all of you who are following or who are advancing to go ahead and roll stealth.
I got a 13.
Okay.
16.
3!
Oh, a 3?
Oh.
Oh no. Oh man. Okay, so as you guys approach, Dorn in the lead, he's kind of like doing this hunter's walk where he's using the sides of his feet to kind of offset his weight and quiet his steps. And Certainly, I forgot your name for a second. Certainly, you're following behind him, trying to mimic it. You're doing okay, but you keep stepping on like a twig every now and again, but it doesn't seem to make too much of a noise. And then from behind you, just gong, 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 stomping through the leaves and the dirt and the twigs and stuff. You guys make it up to the line, the brush line, just before the break of the forest, and you and Doran stop short of the bush, but Tiffany, being short, she can't quite see through the bush or over the bush, so she kind of takes a step to the side, and you guys hear cling, 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 as she steps on some kind of string, and it sets off some kind of alert system. And I need you all to roll initiative once again.
Damn it.
Oh, so close, so close.
12.
So wait, do I add anything to my number?
I hate yours, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Just okay.
20.
No, you don't actually have an initiative bonus, because that would be your dexterity, but you don't have one. So 19?
Thankfully.
So Taintly. And then 20 to 15.
Oh, sorry, I had a 22.
Oh, 22. Damn, there's these high rolls.
I'm surprised. I'm never really lucky, and I've been getting decent rolls. Decent.
Yeah, especially on initiative. Then we have 15 to 10.
Yeah, 12.
12. Alright, so as you guys approach this cavern, so this is what you guys are looking at here. You guys are all along this edge of the forest. And then you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 feet to about the mouth of the cave. You guys are about in here, and then this is where Tiff stepped on the alert system, and there was wolves out here around this fire who hear you and then jump in and try to attack. So they're going to get one surprise round. 2 wolves are going to get a surprise round on you guys because you alerted them and didn't quite have eyes on yet. So the 2 wolves are going to jump side by side next to Tiffany, who's probably about right here. And so they're going to move up one on either side using pack tactics. They're going to get advantage on each of these attacks, and they're each going to do a bite attack. So first bite attack is 17.
It hits.
Second bite attack from the second wolf is a 15.
It hits.
Okay, and then you're gonna take 8 damage from one and 5 from the other. So I believe that's 13. And then we go to the top of the order, which is Doran.
How far away from me are these things?
So Tiffany's in this square here in the opening, and then one wolf is here and one wolf is there. So you are probably behind this tree, like right in here. So you're probably about 10 feet away from the first wolf and 15 feet, 15 feet-ish away from the second wolf.
I am going to fire my bow at them.
Okay. Roll the hit.
18.
Hits.
Perfect. Plus 4.
Was that the one closest to you or the one furthest from you?
Closest to me.
Okay, good.
Why is that good?
Oh, because I would have to adjust the roll for you because the second one would have partial cover past Tiffany.
Gotcha. So 14 damage.
Ooh, good hit. Yeah, so as you are... Is there anything else you want to do here? You just have an offhand attack, but would be melee.
No.
So, no, okay. And are you going to move at all?
No.
Okay. So, yeah, you hear Tiffany stumble over this early alert system thing, and these two wolves immediately pounce. They run in and they bite at her, trying to pull her to the side and keep her kind of isolated. And as they bite at her, you pop out and you fire an arrow into the rib cage of the first wolf closest to you. Again, probably about 10 feet away, about right here. And you see that it sticks firmly in this wolf's ribs, and you hear it go, "Oh, hunters!" And then you hear the other one bark. And next up is Sir Taintley.
How many wolves are out there?
So you see two immediately surrounding Tiffany right here. So here's Tiffany, and then this would be one wolf. This would be a second wolf, and then you have Doran over here, who probably just stepped kind of to get a clear shot right here, and you are just beside him in this bush here.
Bushes.
Deep in that bush.
Deep in that bush. All right. Well, once again, I'm going to give the bardic inspiration to Tiff.
Okay.
Might as well do that, since I have that. So that is yours.
Okay. So how do you give her this inspiration?
Well, she's far away, so I can't whisper sweet nothings. I whisper some sweet nothings. Being a bard, I should probably pull out my bagpipes, because they're the loudest of all the devices I have on me.
Okay.
I'll pull out my bagpipes and I'll play a sweet Scottish tune. A Scottish tune for her to hear. Since she's also...
Does it have a little beep beep this time?
It is. It's a little beep beep, doot doot, and all the other sounds that bagpipes make.
Okay, so you pull out your bagpipes and you give them a squeeze and boop boop beep beep, and you just feel inspired by that. That was your bonus action. You still have a movement and an action, and you're again over here in this little bush.
How far away am I?
So you're probably, let's see, they're here. Oh no, they're here. So you're probably, what is that? 5, 10, 15, 20, about 25 feet away from them. Again, they're about right here.
Right.
So 25 feet away. I believe your movement will get you there if you're wanting to run up an attack, or if you have something ranged, like if you want to throw your dagger, or if you want to,
Yes.
if you wanted to run in or try to get a better vantage point on it, you can do that as well.
I'm gonna run in with my rapier. I'm gonna draw it, looking like a toothpick in my giant hands.
Beautiful. I love it. So you run up on this wolf that just took an arrow to the ribs, and you pull your rapier out and unleash an attack. Go ahead and roll to hit.
8.
8.
Ooh, I got an 8, actually, for real.
Oh, no, that's your damage dice. But
damn it.
I'll let you keep that damage dice,
I'm
but
not gonna
roll
keep
to
it.
hit.
20. Nat.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, again, this because she is engaged with them, you can technically roll at advantage for flanking. So you can go ahead and roll again. If you get another nat 20, I'm going to go ahead and do something special for it.
Oh, I missed the box. 8.
Damn. Okay. So go ahead and roll your damage dice and double that.
Alright, this time I'll do that for real. 5. 10. So
Nice.
10.
Yeah. So you run up from the bushes after squeezing on your bagpipes, and you hear like their ears go up. It's kind of like a dog whistle to these wolves. And as you sprint up, you pull out your rapier in one fluid motion, just from sheath to skin. You just whoosh, you give it a slash across the side that just took the arrow, and you see that it yelps and it starts to back up a tiny bit. Next up is the wolf. And this wolf is going to actually disengage and run into the... So it's going to disengage from where you guys were, which is about right here. And it is going to run up and go back into the cave opening while yelling, "Hunters! Hunters! Hunters!" And so it runs back inside. And you are left standing next to Tiffany and one other wolf, and it is now that wolf's turn, and it's going to snap at Tiffany once again. And it's going to make one attack, and I'm guessing that a 7 does not hit.
Does not hit.
Okay. Then it is going to use its movement to try and run back in as well, but you will get an opportunity attack. Both of you will, as it runs past you and into the opening of the cave. So, both of you roll a d20 to hit.
Me too?
Yeah, because it's going to run past you to try and get in.
Plus.
I got a 14.
Oh, 8.
Okay. Does not hit, but the 14 does, so go ahead and roll damage.
Where'd you go? There you are. 4.
4, okay. Alright. So, as this wolf bites at Tiffany, it tries to bite at her, but it misses, and then backs up fearfully as it sees this larger, more imposing form backing up the small, heavyset dwarf. And it turns and starts to run, and as it does, Tiffany strikes out with her great axe, trying to catch it as it runs, and misses, and using the momentum you had off of your first slash that sent the first dog running, you slash down and catch it just on the tail, cutting the tail off. And you see as it yelps and runs inside, "Hunters! Hunters! Hunters!" And it runs inside the cave. Next up, you guys see at the mouth of the cave, a larger wolf emerges and is standing here in the cave opening. And it looks to you guys, and you see as it stands up proud, it charges out towards the most imposing form, which would be Certainly, and it's going to make 2 attacks at you. A 19 and a 17. Both hit?
Well, yeah.
Alright. So now you're going to take full damage on that one, and so a 13 damage total from both.
13 from both? Is that like
No. 13
times 2?
13 total.
Oh.
Yeah. But Mac. And then, as its free action, it's going to say,
You made a mistake by coming here.
And it raises its fur on its collar, and it confronts you. Next up is Tiffany.
How far away is this wolf now?
So you're standing about right here in this small opening between 2 trees, and it is standing on the other side of your Goliath friend right here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's standing here, and your Goliath friend is like about right there.
So I'm gonna run up and try to hit it with the great axe.
Okay. Are you gonna run up alongside, or are you gonna try and get behind it, or what are you trying to do? just run up straight to it?
Maybe like go up around the side.
Okay. So you will get flanking advantage. So roll twice and take the higher.
19. Plus 6.
19.
25.
25.
Nice. 25 definitely hits.
Plus 4, 6.
6 damage. Nice. Okay. That was your movement, your action. You still have a bonus action left if you want to do an offhand attack.
Okay, I'm gonna do the rage.
Okay, yeah, you bonus action rage. So yeah, you just like, after you hit this thing with your great axe, you just flex out like, "Arrgh, like come at me." Next up, you see a second wolf. Again, large and imposing, bigger than the other wolves that were just out here. You see the second wolf show up, and there are 4 wolves behind it. But all it does is stand there, and it asks,
What is your business here? Why do you beset us with blades and arrows?
You have been bothering the townfolk. We are sent to stop that. You need to leave them and their sheep alone.
Please stop eating the sheeps.
Dorian, it is your turn proper. But you guys can use this moment to try and talk, or you can continue to attack. It's up to you guys.
I think we should reason with them.
We are here to. We were sent because you are attacking the townsfolk and their sheep. Now we cannot have that. Also, there is a sorcerer that seems to have gone missing. We are curious if he is here as well.
If you are willing to talk, we are as well. But you must lay down your arms.
You see, I don't know if that's really fair. If I lay down my arms, what are you going to do? Lay down your teeth? I don't think so. So, I think I would be rather defenseless in that situation than you would not.
Fine, you may keep your weapons, but you must sit along the fire with us.
Okay.
Basically, he suggests that you guys make yourself vulnerable by being basically prone. Like if you're sitting down, you're less likely to be able to do anything with any great effect. But if you do that, that'll show that you're not gonna just pop off and try and kill them outright, and that they are offering themselves up to sit across the fire from you and talk, if that's really what you guys are gonna do.
I'm down.
What do you think, Sir Tentley?
Sounds like a smart choice to me.
I mean, I always love cracking skulls, but I think this is a better decision.
We will join you at your fire.
Very well,
I'll play
then.
my lute.
You are now having a bow wow with
Bow wow, pow wow.
Yeah, with the wolf folk. As you sit down, the first wolf, or the wolf that stood at the door, stands there and says,
I am Bolt. I have been named by the Dawnbringer, who names my second-in-command Flame.
and that's the one that was most recently ran out and tried to attack you guys. And they sit there, and you guys explain the situation to them.
Well, you see, these wolves, some of your pack, have been attacking the townsfolk sheep and their harvest, and that's how they are able to live. You're taking that away from them, and they don't appreciate it. Also, it seems a couple of people have gone missing from the town as well, so they actually hired us to come out here and deal with this problem. I was not expecting such reasonable beings, but we may be able to strike a deal.
I and my pack are willing to negotiate, as long as it means our safety. We were but only trying to provide for ourselves and our pups. But
How is it you're able to talk? I have never before met a talking wolf, and I spend a lot of time in the woods.
it is strange. One day, we were patrolling our woods, our forest, and came across a trespasser. We beset upon him and unleashed a flurry of our attacks, and mid the battle, this man became light and is now known as the Dawnbringer. A bright light flashed and threw us from him, and the fight became hazy, and we no longer could find ourselves able to stand, and the Dawnbringer took our consciousness from us. When we awoke, things had changed. Our minds became quicker. We found ourselves able to communicate with little more than just thinking about it. But this Dawnbringer was gone, and these new memories filled our mind. Strange images and information began to appear, and this is what gave us our newfound abilities. We find it better for us. It improves our quality of life. Our pups don't starve any longer, and the winter isn't as hard. We're able to provide for ourselves and our kin. We no longer have to leave behind our kin just to hunt and provide for ourselves. This is our way, and this is what we have come to know in the last couple of moons. We originally never knew of the sheep beyond the forest, but as the Dawnbringer brought images and thoughts to our minds, we began to expand our horizons and journey farther with little fear. Even the great owlbear who plagued our forests and took from us and killed our kin and our blood alike, we were able to fend them off and send them away, preventing them from harming us any longer. Then we found the great fields of yellow, tall grasses. There they fed these beasts, these sheep as you call them, and seeing as they had many more than they could eat, we decided to take for ourselves our share, an even amount, not more than what we could handle or hold or eat. Just enough to provide.
I see. That is interesting.
These people who guarded these sheep, we've seen them before. They come into our woods and kill our kin wildly, indiscriminately, for years, just as the Dawnbringer brought us thoughts and voice and our true mind. We began to realize that these humans, these creatures who shepherd these beasts, they kill us out of spite and anger. We did not do anything to incur their wrath in the first place, but they came out and struck us down in our homes.
I don't know if it's spite, but much rather fear. They are afraid of you. They're afraid that you can hurt them and their sheep, so they are doing what they can to protect themselves.
Well, if it means protecting our family, we can negotiate to most reasonable terms, and if it means leaving our lands and moving to deeper parts of the mountains or woods and not treading upon their lands, for the safety of our family, we will do this.
Well,
So y'all telling me you met Gandalf the White, he gave you intelligence, and you learned about the sheep, so you just started to eat them, and that's what happened?
We only took what was fair. We never took more than we could eat or handle or store for the cold months.
That's understandable.
What is this Gandalf?
I'm only joking.
Is this the name of the Dawnbringer?
no. I believe this Dawnbringer, I believe his name is actually Alexi Merrick. He used to help protect the town before he decided to wander off. I don't know for what reason. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. But I don't know if it's fully necessary that you move out of this land. It is your home.
As you're saying that, as you're saying like you shouldn't have to leave your land, you see that Flame, the one that came out and attacked first. You see the fur on his back start to stand up as well, and he turns to Bolt and he says,
You are a coward. They speak true. We shouldn't have to leave our land. We should fight for our land.
and you see Bolt. He says,
No. They are being reasonable.
and you see it at the word reasonable. Bolt jumps forward and, Flame jumps forward. Ooh, and a nat 20 roll goes to bite him by the throat. Deals 5, 8, it's 13. Twice is 26. You see that he takes a good bite out of this neck, and he they begin to start fighting. If you guys are going to join in, you need to roll initiative, or if you're going to do something to stop it right now, then you can do so.
So before this wolf attack, I'd actually already rolled an attack roll because I was getting ready.
Oh shit.
So like not Flame, but when we were standing in the woods, I was getting ready for my turn, and I would go ahead. I rolled my attack.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna use that.
Okay.
Since it's already rolled. So it was with the bow. So I guess I'm gonna kind of stand up and take a few steps back,
Okay.
and then I'm going to shoot at Flame with my bow.
Okay. Go ahead and what was that attack?
It was actually a nat 20.
Oh fuck. That's why you're gonna keep it, huh?
That's why I'm keeping it.
Alright, I will allow it.
I mean, I can share my screen and show you. It's actually still up because I rolled it on the computer.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I believe you.
And then it was a 1, an 8, and plus 4. 9 doubled is 18, plus 4.
Fuck.
We are looking at a total of 23 damage.
Holy shit. It almost instantly looks rough. Like, he looks bad off. He had already taken damage from Tiffany when she did her attack, and it looks like that still hadn't had time to really set up or clot or anything, and you shoot your arrow directly into that wound, and you see as they're growling and fighting, and you can see the other wolves are starting to get restless and like unsure of what's going on, and boom, you stand up, fire an arrow into this open wound in the rib cage of this wolf, and you see it strikes true, and you hear,
They're betrayers. They'll take everything from us.
and we'll actually just jump back into the initiative that was already rolled, which would be Dorian. So you got a surprise round on them while they were distracted, but you have your true turn right now. Or I could use... Well, you know what? For accepting your 20, I'm going to skip your turn on this one and just go to the next in line. Does that sound fair?
That's fair.
Okay, so Certainly, it's your turn.
What do I do? I don't know. What am I supposed to do?
Cameron, you can try to de-escalate the situation now.
That's what I wanted to do. That's what I kind of feel is necessary.
Okay. How are you going to do that? You have a bunch of skills you can look at and see if any of them apply to what you want to try and do. Or you have some spells that maybe you can cast and try and see if that helps.
Ooh, spells. What spells do I have? Charming person doesn't work because these aren't persons, either. Well, they're humanoids, technically, not really. No, they're animals. Beasts.
So I will say, because normally this wouldn't work because it would have to be creature specific, but I will say because they have the intelligence of a person, I will allow you to use that charm person if you really want to. Read that spell out first and tell it, let us all know what it can do and what you're trying to do. Kind of a weird role, but it's kind of a weird game, so.
It's my first one ever. It needs to be weird. Because I'm weird. I'm the weirdest of them all. When you cast a spell using a spell slot of second level or higher, you can target one additional creature for each slot level above first. Creatures must be within 30 feet. Blah, blah, but that's not what I was supposed to read. Must make a wisdom saving throw. Does so with advantage.
If you're hostile to it?
If you or your companions are fighting it.
So it would be just a straight roll because you and your companions aren't fighting. Well, you guys fought with it, so he would make it at advantage just because he still kind of holds that hate.
And I just shot an arrow at it.
That's true. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you did just shoot an arrow.
So if you want to do that, you can. And then what does it say it does?
The charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you. That's it. It charms the creature.
Okay, so if you want to cast that, you can. And then I'll make the save. If not, you can tell us what you want to try instead.
What does this do? What does this do?
Oh, something you notice that as he's biting the neck of Bolt, you can see that there's like little licks of flame and fire coming from his mouth as he's chomping on this dude's neck and biting at him.
Oh god. I can't find it.
It should be right at the top of your skill list. Second item down on the skills.
Oh, yeah, it is there. I get a +2.
What is your charisma check? So look at your charisma modifier. It'll be on those top 7 attributes on the top. It'll be the last one.
+2.
Okay, so it's the same thing. You can roll it.
Alright. I'll do that then.
Okay.
What am I rolling?
You're gonna roll
20.
a d20 twice.
Oh, and pick the higher number.
Lower.
Lower.
Lower number. Oh, lower number. Oh.
That's disadvantage.
Yes, I got an 8.
8? Okay. Yeah, so you call out to these guys as they're fighting, but they can't quite hear you. Or at least they don't recognize or acknowledge you. And it is Flame's turn. And Flame is going to use his Flame Breath attack. And he's going to shoot it at Bolt. And Bolt has to make a dexterity saving throw. Ooh, and he just beats it. He's going to jump back, and as he does, you see this 15-foot cone of fire just blasts out from the mouth of this wolf. And you see as he looks and snarls at Bolt. And Bolt says,
This is enough. We do not need to fight. There's no reason or need to divide us. We are trying to do what's best for our pack.
And it is now Bolt's turn. And he says,
If you will not yield, I will have to take you out.
And he is not yielding. So he's going to use his breath attack. Where are you guys sitting at this fire? Are you guys...
Pretty much middle, left, or right.
So-
Who's sitting in the middle? Who's sitting on the left?
Bolt.
Who's sitting on the right?
I'll be in the middle.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, I was over there because I was sitting over there. Like I was sitting directly across the fire from them, talking to them.
Okay. And then, so Tiffany and Certainly here. Okay, so because Flame is right here and Bolt is there, he's going to unleash his breath weapon, which is lightning, in a 30-foot line. So I'm going to make a dexterity check for Flame, and Doran, you're going to have to make a dexterity save as well. Okay, and that dexterity save is DC 13.
23.
Flame does not save. He rolled a 10. Or he rolled and got a total 10. Then, okay, so that's 2d. Oh, and you saved. So that's 2d8 lightning and half damage on a successful. Okay. So you're going to take half damage from the save. So 2 and 7 is 9. So you're going to take 5. You take 5 lightning damage, and Bolt kills Flame. Because he was already fucked up and he shot an arrow into his open wound. And you guys see as Flame and Bolt go at it, Flame jumps on Bolt and clamps him on the neck with flames licking from his mouth as he calls him a coward and says that he's going to doom the pack to death. And as he does so, you see as the flame grows bigger and bigger in Flame's throat, and Bolt rips himself from the mouth of Flame, jumping backwards, and as he does so, a wave of fire shoots from Flame's mouth and cascades against the cave wall, and you see Bolt, and he tells him,
if you are not going to back down, I will put you down.
And you see as a glow in Bolt's mouth starts to brighten, and then erupting from his mouth, a beam of lightning jumping across, skipping across the ground, bouncing between the ground into Bolt, or into Flame, into the ground itself again, and across the fire towards you, Doran, and you tuck and roll and just barely catch a flash of light across your leg, taking minimal damage. And you see, as the smoke clears, Flame lays dead on the ground. And Bolt stands there before you and says,
now, as I said, there is a negotiation that can be met here. They leave my people alone. We leave theirs alone.
Bolt, you seem like a reasonable man. Look, I think that if we were to go back to the town and you accompany me, you can talk to them and you can strike a deal with them. I believe that, since you are such intelligent beings now, that not only can you live in the forest and thrive here, but if you come back with me, maybe you can work out some type of protection detail for the town, and you can earn yourself some benefits, like maybe they give you a couple of sheep every, now and then for your help of protecting the town. I think it could benefit both of you.
You see he takes a deep breath, and
This would be what we in the world would call having a job.
he says,
If I can ensure the safety of our pups, and I can ensure that my family and my kin are fed, I will go with you, under promise of your protection. Should anything happen to me, my kin will ransack that town. They will lay it low. They will steal everything and demolish everything that they can from that town, and then be gone into the forest, never to be found again. If I do not return in 3 days, they will assuredly take what they must and kill who they can. Do I have your promise to be safe during this journey?
Yes, I promise you, I will make sure that everyone is okay, and that no one is going to attack you. I'm not trying to pull any tricks on you. You seem like a reasonable fellow.
So he agrees. You see him walk back into the cave where there's probably like 25, maybe 30 wolves, full-grown wolves, sitting at the door or the mouth of this cave, and you see him kind of push into the crowd and then start to murmur and growl and make wolf sounds. And he comes out and he says,
It is set then. We go into town. If I do not return, my wolves do what they do. If I do and we can strike a bargain that is reasonable for both parties, then so be it. We will take up this job you speak of.
So you guys set out, and to speed up the end of this game, because I know we all got to get going here, I need all of you to roll persuasion checks, or you guys can give one of you double advantage on the persuasion check.
I am going to give my advantage to Sir Tinsley.
Don't do that. Don't do
You
that.
have high charisma, don't you?
I do. I do have the high charismas. I do indeed.
Okay. So go ahead and roll 3 times, or actually roll twice and add 5 to your highest roll. This is basically going to be how
Nat
well
20.
you can negotiate. Holy fuck. Okay, so roll again. If you get another nat 20, it's going to double the benefit of whatever happens.
Like, I wish I had a camera on my fucking box so that you knew I wasn't bullshitting. Like, this is how I picked up the dice, and there's the 20. You can't see that, but anyways.
I believe it. I believe it.
And see, there's a 9. See, I keep getting 20s and then 8s and 9s. 20s and 8s and 9s.
Okay.
So there's 9.
Well, that's what keeps you honest then. But with a nat 20 plus the 5 on top of that, you have a nat 25 is what we'll call it. You guys sit there in the town. When you guys approached the town and they saw the wolf coming with you, they thought for sure you guys had switched sides, or somehow the wolves were sneaking through, and you guys were like Pied Pipers and you guys paid the wolves to be there, whatever. But with a little reassurance, which was easy enough, you guys reassure the town that the wolves are there for some kind of peace treaty. And after explaining that they don't know where the Lightbringer went or what happened to the sorcerer Lexi, but that they were willing to reach some kind of bargain or agreement, after a day and a half of negotiations, you guys negotiate out and find a way for them to work together. Now this is where I'm going to give it to you guys and see, like, certainly, since you're the one negotiating mainly, what do you think is a fair trade-off between the wolves and the shepherds of this land? And try and say it like you're presenting to the crowd what you guys decided.
What do we give them? What do we give them? The dirtiest of all the whores. No, I'm kidding. That's horrible.
Cameron, it's like what we talked about. Like, if they work to protect the town, then how many sheep can they get? Like,
that's what I was thinking.
for?
So how many sheep do we give them? Do we give them the firstborn of every spawn? Wait, what? We'll give you
very religious kind of feel there.
Ritualistic, very ritualistic. No, all right. We've come to an agreement. The wolves will protect the town from other harms and dangers, and we'll give them just enough to sustain themselves and survive to protect. That is the trade-off. They can live amongst us, and we'll be happy, and that's how we got dogs, and now we have domesticated animals. Thanks to the wolves.
And such became why dogs entered into the D&D universe. It was because certainly the dirtiest bard of them all helped negotiate a treaty between wolves and shepherds and created a bond everlasting. And you can write that in your character notes that you created dogs in D&D. It's canon.
It's canon now.
It's complete canon. Dogs are our reasons.
So we're going to go ahead and call it there. This has been a special episode for everyone. Thank you again to Cameron. Amazing voice. I feel like he should have been DMing this with his great voice, but you guys were stuck with me instead. Alright, so as we normally do at the end of these podcasts for sitdms, we give a little bit of a quip, and then we thank everyone and say goodbyes. Being as we have 2 guests here, we're going to go ahead and have you guys start first. So I believe that, Kayla, you rolled highest on the initiative, so you will go first.
when you see an owlbear, just punch it in the face.
I like it. Cameron, go ahead and give us yours.
If you're trying to be stealthy, make sure to wear leather armor. It's made of hide.
I like that. Then we have our resident conductor.
How do Arakokra prefer to send messages?
How?
Via Twitter.
Oh, god damn it. Alright, and now for mine. The worst for last. You guys always gotta remember, don't push your healer too far. Because they don't heal. They control whether you die.
Oh.
Alright, you guys. Well, thank you again all for listening. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you, Kayla. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate all the listeners. Make sure you guys check out Cameron Boredasnoodles He has Discord stuff, he does lives, he does TikTok, he's everywhere. As always, fare thee well, and adventure onward.
Spice.
Special.